Yo, welcome back to another podcast episode of Stars Talking Cowboys. Starring Sean Fox, K Boogie, and Cowboys Nikki is in the building.
You gonna dig this. Let's go.
What up, fellas?
What's the deal, man? What's going on?
Man,
What's
it's
going on?
another week closer to football.
Preseason games Thursday night. The Hall of Fame games Thursday night.
You know what, man? I really didn't even realize that already. I promise you, I didn't even realize that.
Shoot, I probably watched the first quarter of the first couple series, and then that's that. That's it. That is it. So, just, hey, counting down for the preseason, man. I like preseason games. The camps are all right, but the preseason is where I start to really tune in.
Okay.
Can y'all hear me?
Oh, there she is.
We
Can y'all see me?
can hear you, bro.
We can't see you.
No, you invisible.
Right. What's going on with that?
So yeah, your
Happy
screen
birthday.
yeah, your screensaver you got it on full effect. So while you're doing that, let's do our famous
Oh, full of it.
she's a queen.
Oh, yeah, she's a
That's the
queen. It's her birthday. It's the queen's birthday.
Happy birthday, Nikki.
Thank you. I don't. You said I'm
Happy
on full
birthday.
effect. How am I on full
Yeah,
effect?
your background's like full effect. So you got it all the way up to where it's covering your
There you
there you go.
Oh, there you go.
Oh no.
She took her.
Up, see?
What you mean? No, that was you there.
See,
Oh,
I can,
no.
I can.
Hold on.
All right, well, welcome to another edition of Stars Talking Cowboys. I am your host, Sean Fox.
There we go.
We got K Boogie in the house. We got Mr. Cowboy Nation.
Oh, there I go.
Jerome in the house, and then we have the birthday girl in the house. So thank you for gracing us with your presence on your birthday, Nikki.
No, I partied all weekend, so I just figured it would be nice to see and to hang out with y'all tonight.
Oh, damn. Really? That's what we doing? Really? Damn,
Can y'all
this
get out
second
your
class
feelings?
citizen?
Get out your feelings. You been in your feelings lately.
Who? I'm good. I've never in my feelings. It's all good. there, girl.
Let's talk about it.
Nah, I'm good. Hey, my name ain't such and such. I'm good.
This is a safe space. Let's talk about it, can y'all?
I'm good. Yeah,
I'm just
I'm
messing
good.
with
What you talking
I'm
about,
just messing
Sparkles?
with you.
What you talking
See?
about? What you talking about? Birthday girl?
Hey, Mr. Cowboy Nation.
Birthday girl.
Why I can't see him? Why he frozen?
I can't see nobody but you, boo.
Yeah,
In full effect.
I don't know what did happen. You done took over the screen here.
It's her birthday.
There we go.
It's her birthday.
There we go.
It's her birthday.
Where Mr. Cowboys? He
Yeah, he must have got. He must
We'll
have
have to come back
disconnected.
in.
He got-
You gotta put a birthday song on for her, Foxy. One of them birthday songs. You gotta put one of them songs on for her birthday.
Let's see here. Okay, there we go. Here's her birthday. There's a birthday present right there. The Cowboys training camp. A video of Cowboys training camp. How about that, Nikki?
Rico.
I'm sorry about that, y'all having some technical difficulties.
Oh, okay. I was like, well, I was wondering what happened.
It's all good, brother. It happens sometimes. It's all good.
So since this is the Queen's birthday, Nikki, why don't you lead us off with the first topic? What you want to talk about?
Oh no, I sent. No, we're gonna. I sent the list to Mr. Cowboy Nation. What's on first on the list? Is he froze again?
Yeah, he must be.
Okay. I guess let's start off with the of course the training camp. Let's start off with um the latest topic that came out this afternoon with Michael Parsons amped and ready and almost taking the quarterback out. So I know it's practice, and I know that everybody's saying that some people saying yeah it's cool because he ain't doing nothing but getting Dak ready for the pass rushes that's gonna be coming at him during the season, blah blah whatever. But um, I like it, but at the end of the day, he gotta chill. Like you could actually hurt your quarterback. Like you don't want to put us in that situation in that predicament right now. At least not at the hands of our own player. You know what I'm saying? Um, I know injuries happen and I know things happen, but and it's cool. I know Michael. I know we all know Parsons is that dude. We know that he got that amp in him. He got that fire in him. He got that passion in him, and we know that he just out there literally doing his job. And I get it, but you don't want to hurt your own quarterback. You don't want to. At least they say Dak went down. He got him by the legs, and he went down. Luckily, he was able to he got back up or whatever. But you don't want to put your quarter. You don't want to put us behind the A ball already. You know what I'm saying? Not just coming from practice. So, but I want to see him do it. I need to see it happen in the games, in all the games. Take as many quarterbacks out as you want when the games come, when the real games come, but just don't take our quarterback out. So I think that's probably why they went on and said, "Hey, let's get Dak out of here. Let's let Cooper Rush come on in here and finish off this training." Because Michael Parsons, you is lit, my brother, lit. I love it, but we don't want it to happen to our quarterback.
Definitely.
You talking about? I'm sorry. I know I just came in. My computer will not let me be great, so I had to swap over to my phone. So y'all talking about Michael Parsons keep knocking the QB over?
Yeah.
Yeah, he out of order. He out of order.
He out.
You can't blame him though. Y'all can't blame him
Yeah,
though.
he out
He's
of
working
order.
on them pass moves.
I
Yeah,
love it,
right.
Man, don't do that.
but
Yeah.
don't take your own
Y'all
quarterback out.
can't do that. 'Cause things
Yeah,
happen in
you
practice
can't
sometimes. Sometimes
take the
things happen in
QB
practice. Come on now.
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah, you
yo,
can't take the
listen, just
QB
hey, if I was him, if I was Parsons, I'd tell whoever's in front of me, block better than. Block better than. How about that? Block better than. Yeah, it's
This
just
this
Yeah,
hey, just
no, it,
unfortunate that it happened. That's all, man. It's just practice.
no, but it's
yeah,
stuff like
yeah.
this.
You
It's
know,
stuff like this.
imagine go ahead.
It's stuff like that is where you start seeing scuffles at practice between the
Hmm.
offense and the defense. So,
Yeah.
and at this time of the year, defenses are always ahead of offenses because
Exactly.
offense is trying to put in new stuff, so forth and so on. But this is a time of year where you see fights break out in training camps between players. It's because of stuff like that. So,
Yeah, but who on the offensive line wants that smoke though? That's the thing. Who on that offensive line wants that smoke? That's what I
I
want
mean,
to see. Zach Martin would want
Let
that
me
smoke if he was
let
here.
me
Who
let
wants
me
that
ask
smoke?
y'all this. Do y'all think he struck fear in the O line after what he did to Tyron Smith? You think they're a little scared of him behind it? That don't happen to Tyron Smith.
But
I
he's getting
never
older in
seen
the
Tyron
tooth though.
Smith.
so
Yeah.
here's what I say on that. I don't necessarily think it's a fear thing. It's just more of the offensive mentality versus the defensive mentality. The defense, especially when you're in practice, a defensive mentality is they're always going to be dogs. They're always going to be rah rah good. We got to kill the quarterback. Offensive, they're
Hmm.
working on fundamentals. They're working on timing and fundamentals, and their mind is not on let me kill the person on the other side of it. Maybe take that. That's probably not the right word. Their mentality is not let me destroy the person on the other side of me. That's
Hmm.
one reason why they are so glad when they do those joint practices because now you can hit somebody of a different color. Because in actuality, those are your brothers on the other side of the ball.
Hmm.
But I played both
Yeah,
offense
I
and
gotta.
defense.
I don't know
You
about
know,
that.
I'm just saying I played offense and I played defense. When I played offense in practice, I'm worried about catching the ball, getting my footings, fundamental, and I'm not worried about taking a big hit in practice. But guess where I took the biggest hits at in my whole football career? In practice. Because defensive players feel like they have more, they have more to, I'm trying to find the right words for it. They have more to prove than the offense because pretty much offensive side of the ball, that's all the glory and fame right now.
Mhm.
It's kind of hard to explain, if you haven't really played football. And what I mean by
That's
haven't
sure
played,
though,
I mean,
Foxy, because I've seen Kelsey go at the defensive players all scuffling last week and
yeah,
smacking people. So maybe it's a personality thing. Maybe it's a personality thing because if Dez team, remember how Dez got a couple times in camp, he's going after them. Even though they his team going after them because he's like, listen, I'm trying to make y'all tougher. Maybe
true.
the personality of the coaches on offense versus the personality of coaches of defense. Maybe that's it.
Yeah, but I'm a pull that play up by Kelsey. In my opinion, that was a B move on that one in the end zone.
Yeah, that
Uh,
was uncalled for. Yeah,
yeah,
when he hit over. Yeah, that was uncalled for. That
yeah,
was
Yeah, it
uncalled
was, but we don't know the back and forth banter though. We don't know what they're saying back and forth either though. We don't know what they're saying back and forth because it gets heated in practice. No matter baseball, basketball, football, sometimes you in the heat of the moment, somebody can say something and you gonna pop off. Just think about it for a second. We all athletes on here, and if somebody says something wrong to you, it's practice. You think you're not gonna say something back to them? Think about that for a minute. It gets heated practice, and that could be your brother. You can go out to the movies or whatever else after practice, but during practice, y'all going at it, mano a mano. And sometimes your emotions
for.
may get to you. Because I'm an emotional cat. I'm telling you, give me smoke, I'm gonna give it right back to you. So sometimes, we just have to prove that we basically also are alpha male just like they are. So that happens sometimes. That's all. It's ego. It's ego at the end of the day. You get emotional, so things happen sometimes. But I tell you what, if Dez was on this team, I think, and Parsons did that, it'd be a problem. Or if Jason Witten, it may have been a problem because of their personalities. Because we've seen them go at it too and protect their quarterbacks in camp. So sometimes I think the offense is taking on the personality of the coach. And then the defense loves Quinn. So Quinn's always. So that's what I think happened in this particular instance with Michael Parsons. Because Michael Parsons has been doing his thing. He wants to show everybody else that he's one of the best defensive players in the NFL. He probably took a little overboard,
yeah,
but hey,
that's
that's Michael
true.
Parsons. I told y'all last year he was the leader of the defense.
Yeah, but look at this Kelsey thing here. I mean, it's just going to show it again. That was not warranted him swinging on his
Yeah, he just trying to punch the ball out. Right, he just trying to punch the ball out. But I didn't see no call to tee off on him.
Hey, listen, we don't know. They were talking about while they was lining up mano a mano. We don't know what they were talking about. So I give both of them the benefit of the doubt because I don't know what happened. I wasn't on that field. But I'm telling you, when you go up in practice and y'all scrimmage against one another, I don't care if it's tackle, rough, touch, flag, and somebody could be having a rough day and you getting the best of them and somebody just mouths off a little bit and you're like, what? What you say? Even though y'all teammates, certain things can happen. It
I
just
don't doubt that.
the spirit of the game. Sometimes it happens.
I don't doubt that. I'm not saying that I've never been in a scuffle with a teammate. I remember one game, me and a teammate fought, and I walked off the field at halftime and went home. Uh, that's how mad I was. But the point of it is with that Travis Kelsey situation, and that wasn't the first one he did. That was a second
Mhm.
fight that he got into
Yeah.
with his teammates, and it didn't look like it was even worthy of it. Now, if when Michael Parsons fell on Dak's leg, if Tyron Smith or one of the other linemen would have walked over there and pushed on him and shoved him this and another, in my opinion, that'd have been worthy. Why? Because you're protecting the quarterback, you're protecting the franchise. That little mess that Travis Kelsey just put on his little dead teammate, that was that was a move. And
Y'all don't like that?
I don't want to say the name. I don't want to say use the word that I want to use.
I know exactly what you about to say. I know exactly what you about to say. Oh my God.
So Joe said that backup guard was getting killed today. We need Zach Martin back real bad.
What up, Joe?
Yeah, he
and
got killed.
yeah.
So what y'all think about that?
Better do
Jerry
something
was
quick.
saying what he said about that contract. Jerry said what he said now. He said, and to be honest, Jerry right. Zach Martin has been at the top of the money his whole career. He's been one of the top paid O-linemen his whole career. And if you're gonna put Jerry in a situation where you got to choose you or Michael Parsons, that ain't gonna be a hard choice to make.
No, but I think
Mm.
that Dak has something to say about that.
Well, he did. Dak did say had something to say about it, and he said he think he should get get the extension and the money that he is asking for. Like I said in the chat, I see both sides of it. I see Martin's side of it because if you look at it, um, Martin did take pay cuts in the beginning. He did do a lot of
Mm-hmm.
restructures to his deal to push his money down so other players could sign. You know, that was one of the reasons why they were able to even sign that because Martin took a restructure and pushed money down. So
Mm-hmm.
I do get it, and I get, but I also get Jerry's side, the business side of it is that I could give you this extension, but then I got two players behind you that we gotta pay, which is Lamb and Parsons. Basically, Jerry
Mm-hmm.
already letting you know and letting everybody know that Michael Parsons ain't going nowhere. So all that talk that people talking after Michael time is up, and when Michael finish his contract or his 4 years or blah blah blah, he leaving. Jerry personally putting it out there on the front street for all these teams to even know. Don't line up for Michael Parsons. Get him off your list. Look elsewhere, because Michael Parsons not going nowhere. Basically, that's what he doing. He committing to Michael Parsons without even saying I'm committing to Michael Parsons, and which is a good thing, because he letting him
Mm-hmm.
know, which is probably why Michael Parsons so amped up in these training camp. He know that Jerry want him here. He know that he know they want him here. So, but I also see Martin's side of it. I'm a top five guard. I've been having top numbers. I'm a Hall of Famer off top. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? So I got guards that's making more money than me this year coming into this season, and I'm better than them. Basically, is what he's saying. Basically, is what his agent's saying. He's better
Mm-hmm.
than them. And but on the flip side, Martin made most of his money in the beginning. Now
Mm-hmm.
I think Jerry kind of was a little bit out of line when he said Martin made a lot of money. Don't get out that man pocket, Jerry. You know what I'm saying? Like you ain't. We know he made a lot of money. You ain't got to broadcast it. You ain't got to say it like that. You know. Um, but you don't want to get in a situation where you have an angry player with you. Because even if he come back to and get on the field, is he gonna give us his best now? Because now he feel like I'm y'all just got me. Y'all just want to use me now. So are you gonna? We gonna get his best from him? You know, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he would, because the type of person he is and the player that he is and what he have built himself on. I think he gonna still go out there and give it his all. But it's just like, don't discuss the man money in to the media like that. Kind of, you don't have to say that. Well, he done made a lot of money over the years. You don't have to. Don't even discuss it. Keep it like you was gonna keep it in the beginning. I'm not gonna discuss contracts. I'm not gonna discuss that. Men Martin have had our talks. He know what I expect. He know how I feel, and I'm gonna leave it at that. Jerry got to know how to, but that we all know who Jerry is. Jerry gonna say
I mean,
something,
yeah,
and they gonna
Jerry
say
gonna
he was on that first.
Jerry gonna say, yeah, he
He was on.
gonna. I mean, that's that's like a blessing and a curse with Jerry. Like you know exactly where he coming from. You may not agree with the delivery, but he ain't gonna be issue. Like he gonna tell you exactly what it is. And you can either agree with him or you can be pissed off about it. But he said what he said. Like and I'm cool. Like I can respect it. I can respect it. I'd rather you just shoot me straight than to take me all around the world and be it.
I
Yeah,
don't know. Y'all
so
know Jerry talks out of both sides of his mouth at the same time. Y'all know that. Jerry Jones will say anything to appease anybody. So I'm more on Zach Martin's side because this is not Zach Martin's fault. Some of this actually is Jerry Jones's fault. You see how Dak's contract, if Dak would have signed his deal a lot sooner, we wouldn't have this problem
Mhm.
today. I
Right.
always believe that. All these salary cap maneuvers, if Jerry
That's
Jones
true.
and
Mhm.
Steven would have taken the time a couple years ago to get Dak's contract signed, we wouldn't be in this predicament right now. That's just how I believe it. That's what I
well,
believe.
on the flip side of that, though, yeah, we would be on that because now we would have had to been signing Dak's extension this year, unless
You
they would
talking
have
about
been,
6 years?
yeah, So if they would
Yeah,
have
you talking
signed him,
about 6 years?
yeah, so he would have been on his second contract now, and ain't no telling how much they would have had to pay him now. So yeah, they was
Mhm.
wrong in not signing him earlier.
But it kind of panned out when they signed him.
Yeah, but it did
Mhm.
pan out because now he's there. Now he's on his next extension coming up in the next year or so. But he
Mhm.
would have been on his extension last year versus this year coming up. Well, it all depends on the language of the money. I mean, the language of the contracts and things like
Mm.
Mhm.
that. But the fact that
It's
he,
$54 million next year. That's $54 million. That's a lot.
Is this
That's
his
a lot.
last year of
54.
guaranteed? Is this his
um,
last year of the guaranteed?
I think this is last year was guaranteed, but they put that money on those last 2 years.
Okay.
Of
Yeah.
those voidable years, and they
Right.
put that money. So that's really dead money. If they let obviously, if they let that go now, then we're on the hook for that money. If they re-sign him, then they can extend some of that money out.
Right. Right.
I think that Kansas City, Kansas City was very smart in signing Mahomes to the length of the contract that they signed him. Now,
Right.
Yeah.
granted, he's making his money now more with endorsements and so forth. I think he's taking the Tom Brady approach. Okay,
Mhm.
Mhm.
I want longevity. I want longevity. I'm not taking max dollars, but I'm getting this money from all these endorsements and stuff like that, so I can be able to sign other players.
Right.
Yeah,
And I'm
that
getting
was
ring same
from
time.
what I understood. That wanted 4 years though. Like he wanted 4 years, he can come back and get another contract.
Right. That's what he wanted.
Yeah.
Right. That's what he wanted. So, I don't know. I hope at
He's
some point
chasing
they work it
greatness. Don't
out.
forget that Patrick Mahomes is chasing greatness.
Right. But I hope at some point they get it figured out because clearly we don't have the depth on the line for that.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a problem. We already seeing it in training camp. It's gonna be a problem. So um, and I think
Killing.
I think eventually, um, Zach Martin is gonna be up against a wall that he's gonna have to show up because he's getting taxed $50,000 every. He's getting taxed $50,000 a
That's a
guy.
lot of money.
That's a lot of money to just lose just because you're trying to get more money. You know what I'm saying? Um, and with the new CBA, they used to could waive that fee. Can't waive it no
Yeah,
more.
no more.
They gotta pay it. So you could stack those fines up with the old CBA, and then they waive it once you come back. But now they can't. So that's money. That's gone. That's gone. So I think eventually, I think they both playing hardball right now. His agent telling him nah, and Jerry saying nah. You know, and I kind of think this one gonna kind of stick with Jerry because We was kind of at a start of Steven was the one talking on the contracts. Steven was the one talking on the money. So the fact that Jerry came out and said something about the money, it kind of let me know that Jerry is involved in this right here, and saying, "Nah, we ain't doing it."
Yeah, somebody gonna have to take a pay cut. You know what I'm saying? Somebody gonna have to return the favor, take a pay cut so he can get here.
Or a signing
But I mean,
bonus,
Jerry,
or basically give him a big
yeah,
signing bonus.
yeah, because Jerry looking at Micah and CD and Dak. Really, all three of them gonna be expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's why that he want to get those contracts done before they actually, hit the market. He don't want them to hit the market and have to get into a bidding war with nobody. You know, um, he got the fifth year options at there as well. So, they can also go the fifth year option route. But I think it's better to go ahead and pay them and do what you need to do to get it done now. Get it done sooner than when you want to. Which Parsons, we can't do nothing with Parsons until next year. Period. We can't do nothing with Parsons to next year. So um after the 2024 season is when we can do something with Parsons. They put that in the CBA. You know,
Yeah, but when they do something with Parsons, you might as well back the Brinks truck up.
Yeah, brother.
I think if he keep playing at the level he playing, they might as well get ready. We're gonna lose a lot of players because if
Yeah.
if if he keep playing at the level that he's playing at by that time next year, we might as well get ready for it. And I mean, I won't have no issues with it because the young man is everything that he says. He steps on the field ready at all
Mhm.
times, and I can't take that from him. He ready. He's one of them players that that football is his passion. You know how you got some out there on the field, they got pushed into football because they daddy wanted to live through their kid
Mhm.
because they didn't get to do it. You got some of them that don't have the passion for it like that, but they're gonna take the money. But he's one of them that he is in him. Is in him.
Well,
And
what
we
did
it's been a long time we had a player like that.
Mhm.
so speaking of contracts, and I see a lot of comments about Jerry and them being cheap. You know, when's the last time you seen them sign a DB like they signed a Diggs, the contract they
Mhm.
signed Diggs? It's been a
Yeah,
Long,
long
especially a cornerback.
yeah.
yeah,
It's been since Brandon Carr.
yeah. She's
Yeah,
playing the Colorado.
since Brandon Carr, which was wasting money.
Yeah.
You know,
So
I
but
don't know if
yeah,
Brandon Carr was a waste of money. He was a good cornerback. It's just the fact that he didn't actually make a lot of plays on the ball with interceptions. And that's the thing. I know a lot of cornerbacks are judged on interceptions, but yo, he played pretty good for us though. To be honest with you, he just wasn't like
mm,
Terrence Newman was with interceptions and or his speed. He
mm.
wasn't bad
so
though.
yeah,
He wasn't bad. But
He,
there's
but
he
some
wasn't.
that
He
think
wasn't worth.
Diggs was
He
over.
wasn't worth what we paid
He
him. He
wasn't
gave up
worth
300
53
yards
million.
to Megatron. Megatron gave that man 300 yards. You ain't worth 10. What we paid him like 10, 15 million a year. He wasn't
Yeah.
Listen,
a 10 plus
listen.
$1 million a year corner. Ain't supposed to give up no 300 yards in there.
He
Going to be
wasn't worth
Darrell
what
Reeves.
we gave
Darrell
him.
Reeves kept him actually like top 3, 4 catches because Reeves Island was a different breed. But at that point we needed cornerbacks, so Jerry had to overpay because we were striking out with cornerbacks, so he had to overpay. Sometimes when you don't draft well at certain positions, you have to overpay, and that's what Jerry did. But he
Yeah.
was a good cornerback. He just didn't
He
make a
was a
lot of
good
plays on
corner.
the ball, though. He just didn't make a lot of plays on the ball.
so
Yeah, he wasn't. He wasn't.
I can equate
You know,
that to
there's a
being he was a good cornerback, but he wasn't an impactful quarterback. You know, he wasn't a
exactly.
We
game
can say he wasn't a game
Free.
changer.
he wasn't a game changing
Mm.
quarterback. I think, and I'm not saying this because of I'm not saying this because I'm saying it just because I'm a Cowboys fan, but
Down
I,
crazy.
I feel like that. I feel like that we've upgraded at our cornerback, and I think that he's going to have a better year this year because he now has a mate on the right side. He has a veteran presence over there that can,
Right.
you know, he could teach them game. He has a defensive back coach that was an ex player that did pretty good, but now he has another veteran, proven cornerback on the other side of the field that can help him out. So
And he doesn't have to overplay
yeah,
his side of the field, which is where he was getting in trouble at. And caught, why he ended up having, was having all the yards passed on him because he was trying to overplay because he knew what else he had out there wasn't sufficient, you know, enough. So he would try to overplay his part, So I'm glad, we do have, we got Gilmore there, and that's gonna help him a lot too to kind of structure him in some things that he probably wasn't getting structured in because he didn't have that, you know. Who was gonna teach him? Anthony Brown can't teach him. Sean
Oh, here
Wright
we
couldn't
go.
teach him.
Here we
I mean,
here we
I'm
go with
just
this.
saying.
Lord have
I'm just saying.
couldn't wait to get on our board.
You had
Couldn't
to get that
wait
shot
to
in
be. He
I,
had. I felt that all the way in New Jersey. I had a shot right here in my chest. I felt that Anthony Brown. I felt that shot.
and I
look,
feel so
That was a
bad.
long range missile. I felt it.
I feel
if,
so bad because he actually told me happy birthday on Twitter today. I'm like, what? You supposed to be mad at me?
if Anthony Brown was to get paid for every time we mention his name on our show, he'd be
Yeah.
and not in a good way. He'd be rich.
I don't
Lord
know.
have
I will
mercy.
say I did see he did play better this year. He did. I
He
give him
did.
credit where credit is due.
He did.
He
He
did
did
before he
play
got hurt.
better this year before he got hurt. He did play
Yeah, we
better this
did. We
year.
did miss him. When he
You
went
know,
down, we missed him. And I never thought I heard myself say
and I
that.
never thought I would have said I missed him. Just like I was like I would
Yeah.
have never thought I said I mean when we was at that Jaguar game, I said, "Oh my God." I said I can't I said I can't even say it. They'll think I'm a fake fan if I say this out loud. I'm like, I
But
was
how
like,
about this?
oh my
But you
God.
I'm,
go ahead.
I'm about to bust your bubble. I'm about to all this giving credit. I'm about to bust your bubble with 2 words:
Oh
Thanksgiving.
damn! I knew you was gonna bring. I knew it. I knew it. The Raiders.
They did right letting his ass sit on that bench by himself. They did right letting him sit on that bench by himself. But I'm like, man, then I kind of felt kind of bad because I was like, dang, the whole locker room left him out there. Like they was just like, dude, like, who are you? Like, we don't even know you. Where you come from? I was like, damn. But hey, that was a bad
I
game
didn't
for him.
I didn't feel bad. I'm gonna tell you why I didn't feel bad because I didn't get a chance to eat no damn dessert that day.
No,
I
I
didn't get no
shit.
second plate that day.
How you think I feel? I was at the game. How you think I felt? I wish I could have threw something at him every time he
Oh
came back to that
God!
sideline. I was like,
Damn.
oh my
See.
God.
See now. They're gonna
I
need a
didn't.
therapist
I
just
didn't.
because you brought that up.
Sylvia, I didn't say Raiders. All I said was Thanksgiving.
The Thanksgiving Day game. Yeah,
That's
that
all
was
you had to do was say
whew.
Thanksgiving. That's all you had to do was say Thanksgiving. They're gonna need a therapist after the show now. Thanks, Fox. Appreciate it.
And unfortunately, that's the game that he's judged by. That's the game that everybody's gonna remember, that they're gonna mostly remember Anthony Brown by. Unfortunately. That's the
Well,
game.
I mean,
But he put himself in that situation.
Larry Brown got his money off this one game in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. But with Brown, all he had to do was turn his
You got
head.
a twin, Mr. Cowboy.
I don't know.
We got a twin. Bang, bang, bang.
Like, what is going on?
Bang, bang, bang. Anthony
He
Brown
got a got a
Yeah,
new
That's
friend?
what it
I
is.
must say, did your
Yeah,
parents,
those like making a
parents get to tell you something?
Really, that's crazy.
But on a positive note, though, I have been very impressed with uh, the defensive backs in general. You know, those guys have been in camp making plays. You know,
They have.
they all of them have. You know, and it's going to be very, very hard for them to decide who's going to make that 53 roster.
Yep.
Yeah, we gonna let the good corner go, man.
Yep.
Or
Or trade
they
them.
better
We
get.
got to trade.
I
Don't
must
just
say
let them
they
go.
better get
I'd
the
rather
trade
trade them.
value out of. Yeah,
Yeah.
Get the
Eric
trade
Scott.
value. I mean, hey, Quinn is doing his
Eric
thing.
Scott is making a name for himself,
I
and
told y'all.
Eric Scott is making a name for himself.
I
And
told y'all.
if I hate to say it, if Joseph wasn't good on special teams, Joseph would probably be our odd man out.
I can think of some
I
bonehead
think
plays.
right will be. I think right will be.
I,
It
I
will
can
be
think.
between Joseph and Wright. I think it will be between Joseph and Wright. But I think Quinn liked Joseph a little bit more because he's putting a little bit more interest in him by moving him to another spot. You know what I'm saying? So he's showing that he has a little more interest in him. But
I could see.
Eric Scott is doing his thing.
I could see Joseph in a speed nickel or a dime position on the team. But I still think
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be. I would not want to be in the coach's room when they deciding which one of these DBs are they going to let go, which one they're going to release and bring them back on the practice squad.
Practice squad.
Because if these DBs keep up in this training camp and go through preseason games like they're doing now, somebody's gonna swoop some of them up. You know,
Uh huh.
That's why I'm waiting for the preseason games before I do any analysis and whatever. I want to see them go against another team that they don't go up against practice every day, and I want to see how they actually play against those rookie or those actually free agents trying to make the team. That's what I want to see. Because right now, everybody's hyped. This camp, people balling, but I'm like, listen, let's see what happens when they go up against teams. You don't know their playbook. You don't know their route trees. You don't know you're not similar. You don't know their similarities with certain formations. Let's see how they perform. And that's what I'm looking forward to basically in preseason more than camps. That's why I'm just like level headed about certain things when I see a lot of the practice highlight films and whatever. I'm like, every year we fall in love with somebody, and that somebody winds up either on the practice squad or they get cut. So that's why I'm until preseason games to see, because Turpin made the team last year because he scored 2 long touchdowns against the Chargers. He was basically, almost cut if it wasn't for that game, right? So that's why I'm level headed. I'm like, listen, let's wait till the preseason games before I say anything about who may make the team, who may get cut. Because right now, every team has superstars out there right now. If you read the reports, you watch NFL Network, everybody has somebody that's balling out there. So that's why I want to wait till the preseason games before I say anything.
so I'm definitely looking forward to the preseason schedule here. Jags, Seahawks, and Raiders. Um, I think that the Jags and the Seahawks are going to be good tests for our offense. Those
Mm-hmm.
teams typically have pretty good defensive schemes. That Raiders game, that's just going to be a show and tell for the guys who are really not going to make the team. It's going to be showcased for them to the ones who get cut or the ones who get released for other teams to pick them up. Um, are you guys glad that we went down to 3 preseason games, or do you miss that fourth one?
I kind of missed the fourth one, to be honest
Mm.
with you, because you get to really evaluate some depth in the fourth game, because you get to play the, you know what I'm saying? You get to play like the guy. You get to realize who you want to cut. Like we just talking about, we got a hard decision to make at corner. So that fourth game would have been right up our alley. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna let those guys basically get a whole game for the rip and see what's what. But now it's kind of like because which one be considered a dress rehearsal now? Like the second game,
Yeah,
right?
pretty much.
So
And I don't even think they. I don't even think the second game they even play a lot. I think they only do maybe couple series, and then the starters it out. That new
Yeah.
CBA has really changed the narrative. That CBA and adding that 17th game uh,
hmm
has really changed the narrative of how they play the players during preseason.
hmm
I mean, we
so how much you think they played that?
I, I think I think Dak is going to play a couple series.
hmm
I let the backups play. I don't think he's going to play a lot.
I wouldn't play him a lot.
Yeah,
He might
Yeah.
play a quarter. I think he might play a quarter. In the second preseason game, he might play a quarter. I think.
yeah.
He
I don't
might.
really
He
see.
might, but
Yeah,
let's see what happens. Let's see what McCarthy does.
yeah. I don't see Tyron Smith playing a lot this preseason. I
Right,
don't.
man, we need to put him in bubble wrap
Yeah,
to the.
I don't see Pollard playing a lot this preseason. Um, I don't see CD Lamb playing a lot this preseason. I don't see
Yeah.
Brandon Cooks playing a lot this preseason. Gallup on the defensive side, I don't see Tank playing a lot. Um, I just don't because we've already been hit with what two injuries already. Two
Yeah, talking about the safety.
hmm
Yeah,
Sam Williams and
but
Armstrong.
yeah. I thought I was talking about McCormick and Wilson. 'Cause, you know they sideline too. Yeah, so but that's a good opportunity for
But
Kelvin
you know,
Joseph though with those two safeties. He can get in that kind of make some noise in his safety position.
I think
Mm,
they may. You know what? Goodwin may be let go. Maybe Goodwin may be let go because he's getting old in the tooth. And since Kevin Joseph is basically, a standout special teams player, Goodwin may be on the
Yeah,
chopping block. Nobody, he might be on the chopping block and not really boss
who
man
all
or
about
captain.
it.
So we don't.
who
I
who you
don't
said?
know.
CJ Goodwin.
Oh
Goodwin,
yeah, yeah, it's
Yeah.
possible. Yeah, I
Goodwin.
forgot about him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's possible. It's possible.
I
I
mean,
mean, it's never no way to know what these coach what they thinking, and what they see what they thinking. It's no way to know because they all go into a meeting after that day of training camp and do X and O's on each player. You know that was out there. So we never know who what they thinking. All I'm gonna say is it's been a long time that we have had this kind of problem on defense.
hmm
It's been a long time that we had this kind of problem on defense. I mean, dating back before Dan Quinn, we already knew who was getting and who was going.
Yep.
You know, you could basically say, okay, he just here just until the last day of their last roster call. We all knew who was here and going, but now it's like you just don't know. And this the time I get in my feelings. I get in my feelings around that time. One of my booze might be gone.
yeah.
So I got, I got
Hey, let me ask y'all this. So what y'all think about Noah Brown being number 5 on the Texas depth chart right now?
it speaks a lot why he was body catching.
We already know he wasn't a number 3 wide receiver or number 2
That's
wide
why he
receiver.
was.
That's
They
what,
was.
man. Listen, I might some water talking about some Noah Brown.
We'll
Noah
discuss that in the
Brown,
middle of civil. Yeah.
he ain't nothing but an offensive Anthony Brown. What we talking about right What we do? What we doing here? We already know Noah Brown is like Anthony Brown for the offense. Come on, man. Come on.
So
There's no way. Listen, when he signed that contract,
So,
we already knew.
yeah,
We already knew. We already knew.
right,
if you
right.
want to, if you
Damn.
want to be a Cowboys fan,
I didn't think he'd be number 5 though.
Shit. He the reason for all them damn for half of them interceptions. Anytime it was an interception somewhere
Mm.
along the line, he was attached to it.
Yeah, he
But
did. He
he
was. He,
he
he,
was
he was
attached to it.
involved. He was
Mm.
involved.
He was
And a
involved
lot of them.
in
Mm.
a lot of them. Um, and
Mm.
now this is just my thinking, and I'm just thinking out the box that the ball was being forced to him for a reason
Yeah.
to showcase that, to have a reason to get rid of him. And that's just my thinking that that the ball, they were forcing the ball to him for that particular reason, and to showcase that, okay, you man, he, to showcase that body catching. I mean, and
so
I know he had some good catches sometimes.
he
He
did.
came clutch in a couple of catches. He, especially at Houston Texans game, the one after he should have came clutch. He caused the one of the interceptions, so
Mm-hmm.
he
So
should
what
have
do you
came clutch.
so what do you think about the Dak haters rebuttals that Noah Brown caught the ball when Cooper Rush was throwing it to him?
I'm gonna dream my
Less
dream.
velocity
think
on the
that-
ball, maybe.
I'm
I'm
gonna be
about
back.
to say,
Less velocity on the ball, maybe. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know.
Let's say you called no Brown put out the
And that's true.
He was a
I,
pinball machine.
but I looked at a lot of his catches. He was body catching. The same thing
Mm-hmm.
Michael Gallup was doing his first year. Same thing T. Will used to do. Body catch.
Mm.
Same thing T. Will used to do. Body catch.
Yeah.
You
But
know.
T. Will had small hands though, so he was kind of forced into that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not
True.
the way he was gonna play.
Mm.
But I ain't gonna never forget him for that Giants game.
He said that.
I ain't gonna never forget him for that Giants game. All you had to do was step out of bounds.
Hey, everybody was like, go out of bounds, go
Oh,
out of bounds.
We was literally sitting in the stand screaming, "Go out of bounds! Go out of bounds!" All he had to do was step out of bounds and give Dan. We had Dan Bailey at that time, so all we had to do was give Dan Brown, give Dan Bailey a chance. We had a chance with him. You know what I'm saying? All he had to do was step out of bounds. I said, and then 2 weeks later, this fool gonna fall off the scooter. That was the problem.
Drunk. And then
Scooter,
Brian Kemp, right.
scooter boy, scooter boy, scooter boy. Out here in the side of the
wow.
streets
Y'all
falling off
got
scooters.
joke. So got joke. Oh Lord.
I'm, try, I'm
Lord
trying to
have
be
mercy,
the
Jesus.
I'm trying to be the Molly of the show and try to bring us back in.
Hey, what would
Reel
the
us
show
back
be
in,
without
Fox. Reel us
some
back in,
laughs?
brother. Reel
What
us
about
back in.
what would it be without some laughs and some things? You know?
So Daryl, he sound like somebody else I know that was just gonna run down the field. Who was that, Daryl?
Yeah, don't talk. Don't don't
Here
don't
you
don't.
go. Here you go.
Subliminal messages, Dad. What's up?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Tell us
we
how you
finna do
really
the
feel,
stuff. We
here
Daryl.
you
finna do the
go.
stuff there.
Tell us how you
What
really
number?
feel,
What number they
Daryl.
were, Bill? What number they were? What number they were, Bill?
9 times out of 10, he finna put something on deck. Oh, he
How
finna
you
put
feel,
something on
Daryl?
deck.
So have we heard any more news about Zeke? Well, I know they said they really like the Patriots really like Zeke, but have we heard any more news in the last day or so?
Well, what I
Uh,
heard, he left without a deal, but they said they're gonna keep in
None.
touch. But
No news.
yeah, I know he was gonna plead the fifth because he want to talk about that. Um, the news. No, that's the last I heard. He left without a deal. But Jerry said today on 105.3 The Fan that he don't know why people going around saying that they closed the door on Dak because that is not the case. The door on Dak has not been closed. I mean Dak shit Zeke. Um, the
I heard
door
I
on
heard there was a petition out to bring Zeke back. Is that true?
It might be, but they ain't from my friend parent. I'm not wasting my ink on signing no petition
No,
because they gonna do what they gonna do, um, but Jared said that the doors are not closed on Zeke, and he said he don't know why that has been put out there. He said people make their own assumptions and people say things because they gotta write articles. Same stuff I be saying in the chat. They gotta write an article, so they just say something. But Jared be on that bourbon, so I don't know. No, he be on that Johnny. He be
Tell
on
you,
that.
he's talking out both sides of his mouth at the same time.
Yeah,
oh wow. So, you know what? I gotta show y'all this. I thought I thought it was just a joke, but let me share this real quick. What's that say right there?
we can't see it.
Wow.
At
Bring
least I
back
can't.
Zeke, a petition.
Can you
It
see it
says
now?
bring back Zeke,
Yes.
petition to bring back Zeke.
No, I don't doubt it. A
Why
lot of
this
people want Zeke
petition
back.
matters.
Uh, I thought it
I
was
don't
just a
know.
joke,
I don't know.
but I heard it on the radio somewhere though. I can't remember what station I heard it on, but heard them say that there's been a petition for some Cowboy fans that started to bring Zeke back to the Cowboys.
Mm. I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, Zeke
Um,
is loved. He's loved in the Cowboys world. Um, and like I say all the time, Jerry loves Zeke. He went to bat for Zeke, so there's no question mark about how he feel about Zeke. Um, but as he also said that if you think your value is this much, go out there and go see what it is. If it's what you think it is, I'm happy for you. If it's not what you think it is, then come back and we can sit back at the table and we can talk about some numbers. But I don't want to offer you something that you're gonna feel like hurtful to you. So go out there and see what you think your value is. And I mean, he
So,
might be getting a test of reality right now that your
Definitely.
value is not what you thought it was or what you and your agent thought it was. You know, and
Mhm.
that's not to. I don't fault Zeke for his value going down. I fault Jason Garrett and them. They ran that man to death. You know what I'm saying? They ran him to death. So I don't fault him for it. He just did what he came here to do as a player. Um,
so do you
I
think
still.
that from the running back standpoint, that Eckler and Barkley, them signing their prospective contract offers, do you think, and Pollard signing his franchise tenure, do you think that was smart move on those running backs, seeing that the market has not been too good for Zeke and Cook, uh, Leonard Fournette, and some of the other backs that are out there?
It should be eye. I'm sure it should be eye opening. It should be eye opening to all of them. That is not. But I think me and Mr. Cowboy talked about the Barkley deal earlier. I feel like Barkley played himself because they offered you 13 million and you refused it, trying to get 15. You said you didn't want to sign the tag because the tag was only 10.5 mil, but you still got 10 million with 11 mil with $1 million incentive that requires you to get 1,300 yards and 11 touchdowns to get that extra 1 million.
Oh,
So
to catch it too.
technically,
What is it, like 69 catches or something like that?
yeah, yeah, 69 catches. So to me, he played himself. You played yourself because
So
you would have
he,
got 13 million on a playing on a tag versus you getting. I understand the tag versus him being on a deal, but they still could tag you next year if they want to. In my opinion, I feel like he played himself. That's just me. So you sat up there with them on
no,
that
I
Zoom
got a
call.
different take.
Okay, it's open.
I don't know. I got a little different take on the whole running backs situation. You know, when these teams draft these
okay,
running
Boogie.
backs really high, they have a theory basically saying, listen, for the first 4 to 5 years, we're gonna run them into the ground, and then draft another running back in the lower rounds to basically come and take their place. And Dallas did that with Pollard. Remember the first time when Zeke was going through that little incident with his contract? What did Jerry Jones say that summer? Oh, we got Zeke's replacement already, and it was Pollard. So these owners and GMs are playing this game with the running back position because they know the running back position is a very physical and high impact position. So these owners already know that. I just don't like the fact that how they treat these running backs. It's not like that running backs are old. They run these running backs into the ground. Why? Because they know that in 4 to 5 years they can draft another running back in the second, third round to replace them. And this whole thing with, let's say, Barkley is actually the Giants' offense. Without Barkley, there is no Giants. So in negotiations, you think you're worth X, but then the team wants to give you Y, and it's like, why? Why? I'm more productive than anybody else that you have on this squad. So I don't know if he played himself. He just wanted to get a better bargain for his talents. That was
But
it.
you
In
still settle for the
negotiations,
same thing. The only difference is it's not going to be on the tag. It's just a 1 year. It's just a 1 year contract. And also in that contract, it says that if he have any hiss of an injury or have to miss a game or two, they have the right to cut him. At least on the tag, you secured. So
but Nikki, I'm gonna tell you something. Barkley signed that contract not for him, though. He signed that contract for his teammates. He is beloved here in New Jersey. He's beloved with his teammates. Sometimes you sacrifice yourself for your teammates, and that's what Barkley did. He did that. I'm telling you, he sacrificed himself because I heard how emotional he was doing his interviews about basically, hey, I could screw my team. I'm not going to do that. That's what he said. So in actuality, he's doing this for the team. He's not doing this for himself because he knows that, hey, listen, next year I can get paid on the open market if that's what it's going to take. But he's doing this for his teammates. And sometimes you do sacrifice.
So you're doing it for the team and you sacrifice it for the team. But you blocked everybody. You blocked the team. You blocked everybody. So you did it for the
team.
Well,
he didn't block anybody.
I don't feel like he did it for the team.
Nikki.
I don't.
He didn't block anybody. Think about that for a second.
No.
Think about that for a minute. Just think about that for a minute.
I read.
I did.
I read.
I
and I research. I read and I
Nikki?
research. And it's a couple of players that he was supposed to be really cool with that was reaching out to him about his deal and talking to him and asking him, you know, about the situation and saying, man, you know, try to, you know, yeah, they were like asking him not to leave the team, blah, blah, whatever. He blocked them. And that came from some of his teammates that he said that they were supposed to be down. And I understand he did what he probably had to do for himself, mental wise, because of the stress and the media talking about it every day. I get it, but he still blocked some of his teammates. He did.
Sometimes in negotiations, when it's your money, you have to do what you have to do, though, Nikki. You got to understand. Sometimes you got to release the drama or negative energy around you to get certain things done, and that's what he did.
And I'm not knocking him for it, but my point to what I'm saying is, you're saying that he didn't do it, and you're saying that he did it for his teammates. He didn't do it for his teammates. He did it for him. He did it for himself. No, he didn't do it for his teammates. If he would have did it for his teammates, he wouldn't have never went into the foot. Kenyatta, if I'm gonna do something for you,
no, but Nikki,
Sean, no, I ain't finna get into it about Barkley because he don't play for me.
Listen to me for a second.
So I'm not gonna get into it about it.
This is just the whole running back. This is just the whole running back situation. Period. Right? He's seeing what's going on too. And Barkley's not a confrontational type of guy. He's not that type of dude. So he's looking at this thing in totality. He's looking at it like, yo, how can I best apply myself to this situation? And that's the way I'm looking at it from Barkley, because I hear the pain in his voice when he's doing these interviews and whatever else. You know what I'm saying? Especially being here in New Jersey and whatever, and reading some comments and whatever else too. So I'm just saying that I don't think Barkley really did it for himself. He did it for his team because he loves his teammates. Barkley is loved here in New Jersey and loved by his teammates. There's sometimes when you sacrifice yourself for the betterment of your team, and that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
And I'm gonna say again.
Give me just a moment here. We have to have a small commercial break, okay?
Yo, welcome back to another podcast episode of Stars Talking Cowboys. Starring Sean Fox, K Boogie, and Cowboys Nikki is in the building.
you gonna dig this? Let's go.
All right, so to Saquon Barkley, I'm gonna interject just one statement that he made, and then I'll let you guys finish your rebuttals. So, if it was really about the teammates, why did he make the statement of "I'll show my worth by not showing up"? I'll show my worth to the team by just not showing up. To me, that doesn't sound like it was a good teammate. That sound more, you know, personal to me. That's just my opinion.
Now let me
It,
ask you a
it,
question about
it
this.
was a negotiation.
Like, think about this. If you negotiate your salary and you have a great team, right? But somebody else, you negotiate with somebody else to get your salary, and you're looking at it like, damn, should I do this for myself or should I do this for my team? This certain things is gonna come out. I know I do this. I do this for. I'm telling you, when you sit down and you negotiate with customers over millions of dollars and whatever, sometimes certain things come out, and it's like, okay, am I gonna do this for me or am I gonna do my team? Y'all gotta understand. I'm looking at it at a different view. Maybe just telling you from what I see, Barkley, this hurt this man. He looked like he was in pain about this whole thing. That's all I'm saying is that
And
I don't know
I'm
if
gonna
he
tell you
I
really
this.
would.
did this for himself. He did this for his team.
Ain't none of these players doing nothing for no team. Ain't none of them doing it for a team. They all doing it for themselves. They all doing it for their family. They all doing it for a bank account. Ain't none of them doing it for a player, for a team. None of them. Oh,
So, so I'm gonna interject one more. Interject one more pin into this conversation. Um, Tom Brady took a pay cut for his team for years, and
Mhm.
never heard anything about it. Now on the backside of it, yeah, did he probably know he was gonna get that big contract with to do uh, television afterwards? Probably so. But his approach, I understand why the running backs felt the way they did. I just didn't like all the publicity about all this. We're gonna get this Zoom call together, and we're gonna show solidarity, and so forth and so on. And then, boom, he signs this contract, making the money that he's making, less money than what they originally offered. That
Mhm.
that something something just wasn't, in my opinion, just if you're gonna show solidarity. Now, we all criticize Le'Veon Bell for what he did, but he stuck to his guns.
Mhm.
Did it hurt him in the long run? You could say yes and no. But this man sat out a whole year over that franchise tag. Um, so I get what you're saying, K Boogie. The business side of it, yeah, you have to approach it from a different. You have to look at it from a business side of it. Luckily, I don't have to make those decisions. I do make a few decisions at work, but the decisions I have to make are pennies on the pound versus dollars on the pound. Am I going to get this material processed at 40 cent at 40 cent a pound, or I'm going to do it at 20 cent a pound? You know, the amount of pounds that I have to deal with are maybe into the a few, maybe $100,000 or so. But I don't know. I just his contract situation, it just baffled me that he signed the contract that he did with a team offering more. If I'm gonna sign a contract, I'm gonna say, well, shit, give me the original contract that you offered me. I'll take that. If you don't want to give me more, give me the original contract that you signed me, not $500,000 more than what the franchise tag is.
right.
Because you live in New York, that ain't nothing. $500,000 more is nothing.
So
You know, I didn't,
you set up on this Zoom call with all the running backs, had everybody think. I understand you was doing something because y'all was doing something as a group. So you set up on this Zoom call Josh Jacobs take a plane. He gone out of Vegas because y'all are supposed to be on the same squad at this point. You know what I'm saying? Out both fighting for y'all money. Only to wake up the next morning to see that you went on and signed this deal. I mean, hey, I don't play the game, but I'm not. He did he did what he did, but for me, the way I'm looking at it, and from what I read, how I seen everything, he played himself
Mm-hmm.
because they offered him 13,000,
Yeah, yeah.
but he won. I mean 13 million, but he wanted 15, but they offered him 13. They offered him 13 with $1 million incentive, which would have basically paid him 14.
Oh,
And but
yeah.
he rejected it, fighting to not because he didn't want that. Only for you to go through all that, unfriend for friends, take the Giants off your Twitter page, off of social media, everything. Don't take calls from the coach and all this, only to wake up Sunday morning and say you took a 10 million deal with $11 million deal with 1 million of it in incentives. So for me,
And he had he
for
got
me,
to
you played
have
yourself,
a month a year to get them incentives, don't he?
right?
Yeah, he got to have almost a career type year
And
just
this
for an
this this
estimate.
is business. It's they cutthroat. Boy,
Mm-hmm.
they will sit you down just to make sure you don't get that incentive. They will come
Yeah.
up with something to make sure you don't get that incentive. This is a cutthroat business.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand players fighting to
Also,
get the most they can get. I'm not knocking him for that. Get what you're supposed to get. I'm always be for the player to get their money because it's billionaires. But at the end of the day, you still played into the billionaire hand. And they
Mm-hmm.
could still come right back and tag you again next year if that's what they choose to
Yeah,
do.
they can
If you
tag him
finish
next
the
year.
whole year, they could tag you again.
Mm-hmm. They can tag him next year.
So what point did you really make to them? That's my question. What point did you really make to them?
Well, even on that standpoint, I look at what we did with DeMarco Murray. We ran the crap out of that man for that year. Didn't resign him, let him go to another team, and where did he go from there? So I'm looking at the situation of where they put all these incentives in Barkley's contract. What is it not to say? Okay, we're going to give you the ball. We're going to throw the ball to you 80 times for you to get these 69 catches. We're going to give you the ball 365 times so you get these 1,300 yards. What good are you going to be to us the next year? That's how I'm looking at it. So is it a cutthroat business? Yes, it is. It's a cutthroat business. Uh, Daryl says they have to appreciate the running back position. I'm caught in collusion.
Oh, that's
The
facts.
fan,
Big facts.
yeah, the fans want to see the ball thrown up and down the field. We've been
Mm-hmm.
spoiled with the Patrick Mahomes and the Tom Brady and even the Dak Prescott's throwing for 4,400 yards.
Mm-hmm.
The 5,000 yards that some of the other quarterbacks have thrown. We've been spoiled. This era of football has been spoiled. But at the end of the day, besides the Super Bowl last year, Kansas City didn't win their Super Bowl by slanging the ball 40 or 50 times. They came back and started running the ball,
Mm-hmm.
to win their Super Bowl. So the NFL devaluing the running backs position. I kind of agree with Daryl here. It's I don't want to say it's collusion, but I will say that people want to see the balls thrown up and down the field. You know, so you got to take the money from somewhere. And
Mm-hmm.
look at us. I felt in my heart of hearts that we paid Zeke too early. Did his agent sit down and say, "Look, my guy's carrying the ball 300 plus times, 320. He's touching the ball just as much, almost as much as your quarterback is touching the ball. So let's pay him." You know, he had a legitimate argument.
Hmm.
But did that win us any championship? Did it win us any playoff games?
This gonna be this Zeke big contract was the last biggest contract that a running back gonna get. A running back ain't getting that kind of
Mhm.
contract no more. So yeah, we paid Zeke early, but on the flip side of it, Zeke agent was on to something
He
because he got
was.
it. He was on to something. So now Zeke looked like the smart one through it all because he got all his money ahead. So he looked like the smart one in this one. So they might
Don't
should have tried
forget,
Zeke agent.
but McCaffrey gets paid $16 million. So you're going to tell me that the other running backs who may be more doable and basically more productive than McCaffrey, they see he's getting $16 million, and you don't think they look at that and say, "Hey, how come he's
Yeah,
worth $16 million and I'm not?" So that's another reason why too. They looking at McCaffrey like, "Yo, why is he on the top of the food chain right now?" That's another
because that's
thing that these running backs are looking at. They see that, and you don't
yeah
think
they
that
said
bothers
it.
them too. Like, wait a minute. So
Because
that's why they want more
McCaffrey,
money.
But
McCaffrey
McCaffrey
is
agent,
anomaly. Yeah, yeah. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Nikki.
no, his agent and the team did that. So they in actuality they can't you can't count another man pockets.
But
And
that's
McCaffrey
what
is,
everybody's doing though. That's what we doing though. We
yeah,
are in a
Can't.
way doing
he's
that. I don't count
also
nobody's man's power. I'm just saying. But that's what they're doing. They're looking at production. They're looking at this average running back. So they say a shifty running back who basically is always on the injured list, who
True.
now plays for one of the best teams in football. They're like, damn, he gets paid $16 million, and I can't get that. That's looking at. I'm telling you, that's what they're looking at. And so if I'm
so
gonna start playing, I look at that and I think I'm better than him. I'm gonna try to negotiate a better contract.
so. Do you know what running back I feel like should be mad at McCaffrey's contract? Cook, Dalvin Cook.
Mhm.
Him and McCaffrey are essentially the same running back. Cook
Yeah.
just got a few more miles on it. But they're
Mhm.
the same running back, you know. So we got some more comments. If Sylvia said owners are looking at the Zeke contract as an example. Yeah, they
Oh,
are.
you gotta go to Todd Gurley. It's Todd Gurley's
Yeah,
contract, not even Zeke.
I thought about
Todd
him too.
Gurley. It's
Todd
Todd
Gurley
Gurley.
too.
It's not even Zeke. It's Todd Gurley. This whole thing started with
Yeah.
Todd Gurley and the
Right,
Rams.
girly. Mhm.
Well, I'll take it. I'll do
Mhm.
you one further. It went back even farther than that. It went back to Marshall Faulk back in Indiana, in Indianapolis with the Colts. The Colts traded him to St. Louis because they didn't want to pay that running back. St.
Mhm.
Louis, you know, St. Louis just lucked up and got Kirk Warner along with Marshall Faulk and came with the greatest show on turf or whatever that name was. So I think it goes further back than that. Let's see here. Carlton says the problem is the owners aren't trying to pay the running back position when they can find a player like what's the
Pacheco.
Pacheco
Yeah.
sitting in the seventh round. And that's I think we said that 2 weeks ago. You know, why pay a running back 12, 13, 14, $15 million a year when you can pick up a kid in the draft? You can pick up two kids in the draft. I ain't gonna call them kids.
Mhm.
You can pick up two young men in the draft for $800,000, $900,000 a piece and get the same productivity out of them.
And
You know,
Pacheco
Alvin
really in a
Kamara's
bad
getting paid
spot.
15 million.
Mhm.
Huh?
No, he's not. He runs hard. I said Alvin
I'm
Kamara's
talking
getting
about
paid
money
15
wise.
million, right? A year. Derrick Henry's getting paid 12.5 million. Nick Chubb's getting 12.2 million. Joe Mixon just took a salary reduction, but before that he was getting paid $12 million a year. Aaron Jones is getting paid 11.5 million.
And how many of those running backs are on there? Or how many are there on their sloping on the backside of their career? Derrick Henry was a beast for like 3 straight years.
He was.
He
Then
was.
He
he got
was.
injured. Aaron Jones, a beast in Green Bay, but he had Aaron Rodgers. Let's see if he get that same productivity without Aaron Rodgers being there. Who else did you say on there?
How about
On
Nick
that
Chubbs?
list?
Nick Chubbs, 12.2 million.
So Nick
It's
Chubb,
trouble, man, like that. It's trouble, a whole grown man.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Nick Chubb deserves his money. Hell, I think Josh Jacobs deserves his money.
I think Josh Jacobs deserves his money.
You
He was
definitely
wasn't
deserve
he the
it.
number one running back this
Yeah,
past
last year
season?
he led the league in rushing.
On a horrible team.
I was shocked that the Raiders didn't want to pay him.
Mm.
And obviously they still don't because he took his plane out of Vegas and they ain't had no talk since.
Yeah, that's
But
crazy.
And the
but you
last thing I read on it is that he blocked he blocked them. McDaniels reached out to him and he told him don't call him. Now, that's the last I heard on that situation. So it's like that it's real bad over there. He don't even want to talk to them. He don't even want to talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's true.
Alvin
Put that
Kamara.
comment up. Daryl said because we said that in the chat.
all they're doing is discouraging young kids not to be running backs and play positions that are getting the bag. You better believe they're watching and taking notes. Running backs has become the new fullback.
Mm.
So, and I kind of
Ooh,
can
I-
attest to.
I got it.
attest to-
Go ahead.
Yeah, I kind of can attest to that, especially since I referee now. I am seeing a lot more emphasis being put on the passing game. Not even at the age of. Now, I'm not even talking about high school anymore. I'm talking about 6th, 7th, and 8th grade teams now. They are actually putting emphasis on the passing game. We do a lot of 7-on-7. We do passing. We call them tournaments, 7-on-7 tournaments, and you have kids as young as the 6th and 7th grade that are actually out there doing 7-on-7 passes. There's no running in these tournaments. It's all passing. We didn't do that years ago. 6th or 7th, 5th, 6th, and 7th grade, it was run right, run left, throw it to the tight end.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like that anymore. So let's see here. Got some more comments up here. Mixon at $6 million now. Nick is getting $12 million. Why Kareem Hunt in free agency now? Because they didn't want to pay 2 running backs. Is why Kareem Hunt is in free agency. Yeah, because between Chubbs and Hunt, that was the best backfield in the NFL for a couple of years.
Yeah.
But they didn't want to pay both of them. Let's see here. Sylvia says running back is like the new car. As soon as you drive off the parking lot, the value starts dropping.
Damn, that's bad that we think about running backs like cars now. That's crazy. We can't even. As soon as you get off the lot, they depreciate that quickly. Wow.
So where you
I have a
think the
feeling
kid?
that
I'm sorry. I was going to ask the question. So the Falcons drafted the kid out of Texas pretty high.
Mm-hmm.
How long?
Yeah.
That's going. How long you think
Bijan
he's going to
Robinson.
last? Yeah. How long you think that's going to last? His
That man,
productivity.
these are the truth. Yeah, these are the truth. So I don't know. Like I think you're gonna have to be like special, like he is. If you're not that, then nah, they're not taking you in the frame. And his field was really like I was surprised to see him go that high. I thought he would probably fall to us. I was really surprised to see him go that high because of the way they treat running backs now.
So where the birthday girl?
See, I have a feeling what's gonna happen.
What you mean?
Go ahead.
Right here.
Okay, we didn't see you. You disappeared for a minute. We just checking out. Make sure you ain't got that.
Because it's going in and out.
Yeah.
It's going in and out.
Whenever I dip down, I'm taking a drink. Just know this. Since you want me to tell everybody.
Lord, Lord have mercy, Jesus.
You want me to put my business in the streets?
Uh, this segment of the show has been sponsored by Sangria.
I'm gonna go and tell the truth, Ciroc. I don't drink
He
that street
said,
stuff.
he said,
Oh, shoot, let me go ahead and pull up my bottle of Tito's in. So, so Felicia, what's up, Fifi? Fifi said, "Don't start with her." So, are you guys looking forward to the game on Thursday?
Yeah, no.
It's not
Yeah.
really, but it's some football, I guess.
I'm like, it's some football, so.
I'll watch one series. I'll watch one or two series. That's it for me. I'm done. That's it.
But I
It's the
like that,
Jets and the
Mr.
Browns anyway. Hall of game, so it is
I
what
like how
it is.
Mr. Cowboy said. He said, "Yeah, no."
Uh, it's a game. It's football. But before we get off the running backs real quick, let's touch on the Ursay comment to Jonathan Taylor.
I mean,
Oh, I forgot about that situation.
Yeah, I think
yeah,
that
that's
situation
just
is the worst
ugly.
right now. You know, it's crazy. Like it was kind of disrespectful. I felt like it was very disrespectful. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and the way he said it was more like we own you. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
it was like in that mentality way of saying, we own you. And I just think it was very disrespectful the way he put that out there and the way, the way he said it.
So I'll read what he said and then let everybody comment on that. Jim Ursay, which is he's a asshole of an owner, by the way. Um,
Yeah.
I'm surprised he's still an owner in the league. I thought that he would be the next Dan Snyder with his drug dealing, drug taking self. He was a pill popper in Indiana. But let me read what he said here. He said, "If I die tonight and Jonathan Taylor is out of the league, no one's going to miss us. The league goes on. We know that. National Football League rolls on. It doesn't matter who comes and who goes. It's a privilege to be a part of it." If your owner said that about you,
It's HR when we need him.
right? So Daryl
Where's
says,
HR when you need him?
Daryl says I'd be in street clothes for the entirety of the season. I get it. I get the mentality of the players that I want my money, and I guess if I was put in the same position where I had millions of dollars on the line, all I know is my boss said that about me at my current job, I'd be using sick days. I'd be going to the doctor getting FMLA. I'm gonna show you how much I'm worth, and I know I'm a damn good worker. So I can't do that because I'm not making it. I'm a dollar heir. I'm not even 1,000. I'm a dollar heir. Um, but that was some disrespectful shit, and I really don't like cussing like that.
Yeah.
No,
Me and
you
her
don't.
say we be fighting.
Shit, I'd be looking for a new job, to be honest with you. I wouldn't tell nobody either. But if I was in that particular
Yeah.
predicament, like he said, he asked for a trade. He doesn't want to play there. I want to go. You can't play for an owner like that. There's no way. There's no way. You can't play for an owner like that. He wants to go. And now they come up with all this different propaganda about he had back injuries and
Back,
whatever else. And
yeah,
he's like, yo, I didn't say that. I'm like,
right,
yo. So nah, his time is limited there. I guarantee
right.
that. His time is limited
Yeah.
And
there.
he said that they will put him on the non-football injury list,
Mm-hmm.
and
And
he
that was
won't get
tough.
paid this whole season.
Yeah.
Well, that's just and I don't want to say it's too early to bring up this next statement, but that's just that good old boy mentality that the owners got.
Yep.
It is what it is.
Yeah,
There's another word you can use, but I'm not gonna say it.
this is privilege. You ought to be glad that we allowing you to do this. Like he didn't work his ass off to get here. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying?
When he carried the offense for those couple of years because the coach decided they wanted to rent quarterbacks for every year since
Yeah.
Andrew what's his
Luck,
name retired.
As we look, yeah. He's a look off
Andrew
on.
Lucky Luck.
So the quarterbacks went on a. Okay, let me go ahead and just throw a little shade at the Falcons. You could bring in Matt Ryan, a washed-up quarterback from the Falcons, because you knew you had Jonathan Taylor in the backfield.
Mm-hmm.
So Daryl is funny here. I'm not going to read this out loud because we are on the radio, but I'll let
See, I'm not gonna say what I'm gonna say either, but me and Dow thinking alike right now. But it is what it is. There's books on that too. But it is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is.
maybe we can get picked up by XM radio. That way we can say anything we want to. Because you can say anything on XM radio.
You can say
Lord,
yeah, you can.
Matt Ryan, you would come out better and say Chris Chandler. Right. Well, the problem of it is if Chris Chandler was available, the coach probably would have picked him up too.
Yeah.
And let me be even 100% more honest since we're on the subject of what Daryl said. I was shocked that the coach picked that young man from Florida.
Yeah.
What I mean
Mr.
by
Robinson.
shocked, no, what I mean by shocked, if anybody has ever lived in Indiana, it's damn near worse than living in the South.
Really?
Wow. Damn.
I want you when you finish the show, I want you to go look up Mike Pence's legacy in Indiana as governor.
Okay.
Yeah, I heard about him. I heard about that.
There's a reason why our ex-president picked him as his vice president.
Mm.
There's a reason why me and the person I moved out of Indiana.
Wow.
Driving while black didn't start down south. It started in Carmel, Indiana.
Mm. Mm.
If you drive an hour north, I'm gonna tell a little story, and then we're gonna get back to football. I played football in a little town up there, and in every town you have different communities. You have different sides of town. So I played football in this town, and we had a lot of people that supported us. But after the games, there was a certain side of town that we wasn't allowed to go to. We had to party with our teammates at their houses, or Jeffersonville, Indiana. That's one of this is a PG-13 show. We decided that we was gonna be hard headed and go to a certain strip club. It's called the Hip Hugger. They allowed us in the club. They allowed us to buy beer, but they did not allow the young ladies of a certain persuasion to entertain us. That's how bad that town was.
Wow.
So when I say I'm shocked that not only Indiana drafted Richardson. I'm shocked that Jim Irsay allowed them to draft him.
Mm. I just knew they were gonna take Will Davis.
Me
I
I,
just
too.
knew they were gonna take him.
Me
I
too.
did too.
Yeah, I just knew they were gonna take him.
I did too.
I did.
Yeah.
But he put on a great show at the combine, though. He did. He put on a great show at the combine, and everybody was talking about Richardson. So, and he said that he wouldn't mind
Mhm.
playing there while he's performing at the combine. So, I mean, hey, it is what it is. I mean, Jim Irsay is a piece of work, though, to be honest with you. But hey, that's that mentality. So it is what it is.
Yeah, he a lot of work.
Yeah,
He a lot of work.
yeah.
No.
If Dan Snyder wasn't the asshole owner that he was, we'd be talking about Jim Irsay a whole lot more.
Yeah, but Dan Snyder gone, so I think Ursay may be the next one.
Yep. He done moved up.
Yeah, he done
Yeah,
moved up.
Irsay gonna have to do something though. He's gonna have to do something really bad for him to be kicked out though. It's gonna have to be something really bad for them to want him to leave though.
He
You
done
gotta get
already
caught
done.
really bad.
He already done some bad stuff.
Yeah, but he's
you
still
and
here
me-
though.
Yeah,
He's still here. That's the problem though.
I'm glad we are the media, so we could talk about
We can talk about that.
let me, because I don't want to misquote anything about Mr. Irsay, and I'm gonna give him the respect of calling him Mr. Irsay.
Mm.
Mm.
Nigga want to call him something else.
He sounded like he was under the influence when he was giving that interview. He sounded like something was going on with him. He sounded like he was fighting my man this Saturday. That's what it sounded like. He was fighting Crawford this weekend. That's what it sounded like. He sounded like he was fighting Crawford this weekend. I said, damn, what's wrong with this man? Why would he say that?
He
Crazy.
always lives.
But that's because he can do that and get away with it though.
So September 2nd, 2014, shortly after pleading guilty to operating while intoxicated and being sentenced to 1 year probation, Jim Irsay was suspended by the NFL for 6 games and fined $500,000. Let's see here. So he said he had back problems and he was taking pain pills. There was some other stuff too, but obviously it's not going to make.
But didn't he test positive for cocaine?
Oh man. And for those of you who don't know, cocaine only stays in your system 24 hours. So if you test positive for cocaine, you just did. You just recently used cocaine.
It was saying that he was under the influence of oxycodone and hydrocodone. So that's what he was.
And that stuff is powerful too.
That's two powerful things by itself. That's why he be talking out the side of his neck.
And he had to be subjected to random drug tests.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Well, let's see how this situation plays out. Let's see.
Let's see how it play out with him and with Jonathan Taylor and them. Let's see how it play out. I don't see Jonathan letting them take a whole year of pay from him like that, you know. So we'll see how it goes. But at this point, I feel like he using his power, you know.
Yeah.
He using his power now. Answer Cynthia's Sylvia question. Did anyone pick up Wentz yet? That'll be a no. Nope.
Well, anybody? Not unless the quarterback gets hurt, maybe. But other than that, I don't think so.
They do better going to a high school. You know, let me go on mute.
Mercy, did she say high school?
Ooh.
I'm about to play a Lucas song. If I take one more drink,
Oh shit,
Woo!
that's
Just,
crazy.
just,
Oh man.
just one more.
so I got a new idea for a sports radio talk show. You know how Kevin Hart has Kevin Hart and the Plastic Cup Boys.
Really?
Yeah.
We need to pitch a segment to XM Radio and have the Nikki show with the Blue Cup Boys.
Wow.
Yeah, that sounds like fun.
Yeah,
Mm.
this is sponsored to you by Ciroc. This half our sponsored by Tito's. Hey, look,
Lord have mercy.
you drink water, right? That's yours. You have to put some Aquafina up there on your 30
Nah,
minutes.
Propel. We gotta get some Propel so I can have my fluids right. We gotta have some Propel on here for me.
Daryl says, count me in on this. It's a special.
Really, that's what he want. Well, I thought I had my Propel around here somewhere with my electrolytes. I love my electrolytes, but I will drink champagne though.
I
Okay.
be doing my best now. All I can give y'all is my best.
What up, Yvonne? What's up?
You done gave us
Yeah,
your
yeah,
best.
my blog will be sponsored by Jose Cuervo. Traditional.
Well, Nikki, it's your birthday.
Mm.
It's your birthday, so you can do whatever you want today. It's your birthday.
All right. What was the next? What was the next topic we had, Mr. Cowboy Nation?
We was on you just sent me the thing about Ronald Jones being suspended.
Oh,
Yeah,
And what is
I sent it.
it?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Sylvia asked
Yeah.
about
So Sylvia asked about that. So
Yeah,
kind of
Sylvia asked me.
yeah. So kind of find out. He is on heart medication, and the heart medication has one of the um mixtures in it that the NFL has as a banned substance. But the
Hmm.
issue is that he said heart disease runs in his family. He ended up with partial of the heart disease, but he's
Um,
is under control because of the medication.
so he got
Um,
to take it.
he has to take it. The issue is that um, he did not let the NFL know. So that's
Oh,
the
okay, got
issue. He didn't let the
Okay.
NFL know. So when they tested it and found it, you know, but he has since appealed it and brought all the paperwork to prove it, but they still declined the appeal because
Wow.
the new CBA states this has to be brought forth before
Okay,
the suspension is
got
done.
you. Okay,
It has to be
okay.
brought to them before the suspension is done. So I just that's to me that, but regardless of what, if it's I feel like that's like what's his name that had the seizure medicine, that they
Mhm.
suspended him for, but he was on seizure medicine. So would you want him to go in the field and get a seizure, and then you don't want to
Nah.
pay his medical bills? You know what I'm saying? They already have a hard time, with getting paid when they get injured and things. So what you want them to do? And I mean something as serious as a heart condition, especially
Yeah.
seeing what happened with Hamlin. I'm not okay with it. That's not
Yeah.
cool. That's messed up. So,
Yeah.
um,
That's a little rough like that.
yeah, he said he didn't want to have to put all his business out there, but he had to defend himself and defend his name because people, he was obviously looking at the quote, the tweets and the things that people were saying. So he had to
Mhm.
come out with the medical records and to defend his name. I just think that's stupid. That's wrong. It's heart medication. He has to take it. You know. So that the doctors. So that brings me to a question with Hamlin. That the doctors put him on certain. Did they give them a list of medications and what they have in it, so to make sure they don't put him on any of these medicines? You know what I'm saying? you
Mhm.
know I think it's messed up. And they was like, well, your agent should be aware of what medications have that have in it before he tell you that it's okay for you to take it. What you mean? So y'all a doctor now? Like that might be the only medication that's keeping him stable. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
You know, um, again, it's a cutthroat business. So the last I heard on it, well, that's what he said. But coming from the Cowboys office, old Jerry, uh, 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 Jerry putting a call in about it. Because if that's the case, he's saying, nah, he shouldn't be suspended for this.
And he shouldn't be. He shouldn't be.
And they are aware. Jerry and them were aware of the heart condition. They were aware of it, and they knew that he was taking medication for it. But the NFL saying that it wasn't told to them.
So Eric asked, are we still looking for a kicker? Has the kid from the USFL, are they still playing? Is he still playing pretty good?
No, I haven't heard much about him in training camp. So I guess we'll find out with the next couple of preseason
That may
games.
be a good thing then. That may be a good thing. I mean, he's doing his job.
Yeah. I haven't heard anything.
Now I
I
think we
haven't
still
heard
need to bring in another
much
kicker though.
about him. I haven't heard much about it, but I think we're not gonna go after a kicker until after they see how these kickers do in preseason, and if they see they look shaky during preseason, and especially that final preseason game, then that's when they'll go for one of these kickers that's on the roster. A veteran kicker like Robbie Gold, I think is still out there, and I think he's probably one of the best that's still on the roster. But he's been injured as
Yeah.
well with growing injuries, so that's one of the reasons why they have said that they have been kind of staying back from him because that's what
Okay.
ultimately got Dan Bailey out of here,
Yeah, but Dan Bailey went to Minnesota and
and
showed
he
out.
was still kicking.
Right.
Yeah, it did.
He was still kicking, but towards the end, he kind of started falling off. I didn't know if we had. I thought they had a clone of Mayhaw over there.
But it just shocks me how, and it's just not recent years. It's been a few years where we have a decent kicker, we let him go, then we bring in this awesome kicker from a different team, and then they get over here and they just stink up the place.
Don't do
I'll go
right.
back when we brought in Vanderjack from Vanderjack, whatever
Oh
Vander,
my.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
yeah, from
Yeah.
Indy.
No, from the
Nigga, that
Colts.
shit.
He's from the
Yeah,
Colts. I know exactly what
Yeah,
you're
From
talking
the
the
about.
drunk
from
Bill
the
nigga.
coast.
Parcells brought him in. Bill
Yep.
Parcells brought him in. I remember him. He couldn't kick worth jack.
Yeah,
yeah, but in Indy,
wow.
he was the
He was
bomb in
lights
He's
Indy.
a
out.
beast in Indy.
He was money in it. He
It
was
could be the
money.
pressure though, playing for the Cowboys. The pressure. Sometimes the lights get so big when you're playing for a team like the Cowboys. Sometimes, hey, pressure bust pipes.
And that's one, like even with that statement, okay, but that's one reason why I don't understand why we give Dak so much hell as a fan base. This man is a quarterback for the most recognized sports franchise in the world. The most pressure. He has to. It's two positions that if I had the heart to play, it's two positions. If I had the heart to play, I don't know how these guys could do it. That's the quarterback for the Cowboys and the shortstop for the Yankees. There were two positions that are Daryl. I ain't even gonna put your comment up there, Daryl. But I'm just saying, as far as the recognition is concerned, I'm not talking about
He's saying
play.
something about that.
Yeah, I'm not talking about. I'm not talking about
There you
play.
go.
I'm talking about recognition, the pressure of being in that. The quarterback for the Cowboys, the shortstop for the Yankees, a pitcher for the Braves. I'm trying to figure out another sport. The a striker for Manchester United. Those people, those guys are those positions are positions where everybody recognizes you.
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta give those guys some credit for being able to handle that pressure.
What else Dow say?
Well,
You know Dow and that boy, Lord. You know Dow,
but
you gonna go at it.
since we on the subject of Dak Prescott, what
Oh,
y'all
here it
think about the
comes.
interception?
What? It's
What y'all
practice.
think
We
about the
talking about
interception?
practice. Yo, we talking about
Talking about
practice, man.
practice.
Don't start with me. We talking about practice. We talking about in
Not
my
a game. Not a
AI voice.
game.
We
Not
talking about
a
practice.
game.
We talking about practice. We talking about
But
practice.
both of them was off the receipt. Was off. One of them was off of Simi hands.
Yeah. Remember we were saying, Cindy might be on the roof.
I'm sorry to tell you, K
Man,
Boogie. I
y'all
know
better leave
that's your
Simi
boy.
alone.
I know that's your
Y'all better
dude. But
leave Simi alone.
Simi ain't looking good in training camp.
Listen, it's only camp.
Oh
When
my
preseason
God.
comes on, when the preseason games are, we're gonna see what's popping. We're gonna see how he performs when the lights come on. That's all I
He
gotta
drop,
say.
he
That's it.
dropping every
That's it.
ball he come across.
And I will.
He dropped one pass. He dropped one pass. He dropped one pass. Y'all Washington fans
We'll
kill me with
give
that. It's
Daryl.
all
Yeah,
good though.
we'll give Daryl his one spotlight here. There was one interception that Dak did throw inside that the DB picked off.
Hooker
And
Right.
caught it. Hooker
That's
caught
what
it
I
deep.
said. It was one.
yeah,
One was on deck and one was on Simi.
yeah. But since we want to talk about that, the news that came out of Dallas today was that Dak was surgical in the end zone in today's practice. They said he was on fire. So let's.
And that's the true part. So you're not gonna hear none of that on these morning shows. You're not gonna hear none of that. They just want to upplay the interceptions. But you're not gonna see the deep pass, the deep bombs he dropping the cooks. Like they ain't gonna show those. They gonna highlight those.
Nah,
Yo,
they,
it's a
they turn
northeast bias
Cooks out
though.
here
It's
running
northeast
this.
bias. It's
they
northeast
turn off
bias.
they
That's
turn
all it
off
is.
that
Yeah,
real quick on NFL
yeah,
network. But also
yeah.
one of the topics we had was Lamb conversation on 105.3 The Fan, which I thought was very interesting. That one thing I took from his convo is he said that they are now giving Dak the free reign to where he can now change the play. If it looks good to
Mm.
him on the field, he can run it. If it doesn't, he now has the permission to change the play. What
That's
goes
what's
back to
up.
what we've been saying all along on this show, that he did not have the permission, or he was not given that opportunity to do that. Did we not discuss this on the show plenty times?
Yeah.
Yeah,
When the
we did.
question
Yeah,
when
we
the
discussed
question
that.
was, well, why he not changing the play at the line? Why he not changing the play? He not giving that permission to do that. We was told, we argued that point, but now they're saying that he has been giving that permission, that if it doesn't look good to run, he don't have to run it.
So I got Daryl. I got to ask you this question.
Here we go.
I said that's a theory. Like,
I
what
just
are you
got to.
saying? He can't read defenses. Where did this come from?
I just got to ask you this question,
I'm
Daryl.
gonna take a drink
Because
while you
the
talk.
narrative of our fan base. That's just it. That's it. That's the narrative of the fan base. He's not the only one that says that though.
Yeah, but when is do you trust Dak in a 2-minute drill or a fast-paced offense, or do you trust him with Kellen Moore calling plays? Which one did you? Which one?
He's electric
That's
in two
easy.
minutes.
He's lights out in a
Yeah,
2 minute
he
drill.
is.
He's lights out in
Yeah,
a
he's
2 minute
electric.
drill.
Yeah.
When Dak is
He wants to
calling
play
his own
fast.
play, yeah.
Yeah.
When he's calling his own
He's lights
play,
out.
I will. I can't say I would take him over Mahomes, because Mahomes is just the standard of the quarterback now.
Mm-hmm.
I really can't. Tom Brady in his heyday, a couple of years ago, I would take Tom Brady in a 2-minute drill. Aaron Rodgers in his heyday a couple of years ago, I would take Aaron Rodgers. So I'm not being
Hmm.
biased. Them three quarterbacks, I would take Dak over. I would take Dak over Herbert. I
Yeah,
would
I take more Herbert.
yeah, I would take
How about
Dak over.
Washington? How about Watson?
I would take
Deshaun
Dak over
Watson.
Watson, and I would take Dak over Burrow
Ooh.
in a 2 minute drill.
Don't say
With
that. Don't say that about. Don't say that about Watson. That's Daryl. That's Daryl Boyd
with
right there.
I
let,
don't
let,
know
let,
about
That,
Watson.
hey, Watson,
let me
that's a good one though. That's a good one
let me
though.
put a
Yeah,
disclaimer with
I
that.
don't know about Watson.
Let me put a disclaimer there.
That's true,
I,
Daryl.
I would put I would put Dak above those as long as he has a receiver like Amari Cooper in there where he knows where this receiver is going to be at. You can't have the
Hmm.
kind of bullshit that we had last year. Receivers wasn't finishing their routes and stuff like
Mm,
that.
mm.
Can't have no BS where you had receivers and tight ends running in the same zone. You can't have no BS where the ball hits you in your chest and it bounces off and it's a pick six going the other way, but you want to blame the quarterback. I, that you can't we can't have no receivers like that. And hopefully Brandon Cook brings some stability and takes some pressure off of CD Lamb, so now we can spread the ball to the other guys too.
Hmm.
Well, you
I
know,
heard Cole
last
been
year, right?
looking.
Go ahead.
He's, he said, "Watson, you tripping?"
See, I was going to say that last year, Dak Prescott was the number one quarterback that was thrown in the tight windows. And that's because our wide receivers lacked separation last year. So hopefully now that, Cook's on his team, he can actually, he can separate, but also some of these coverages won't be bracket coverages like they were last year because of his speed. And Lamb is actually now a bona fide number one wide receiver. We didn't know that Lamb was going to be a bona fide number one receiver last year because sometimes he has the drops and he wasn't concentrating all the time on all his routes. So now this year, hopefully, we open up the offense a little bit more and we will run the ball in key situations only. We're not going to be a running team. That's another narrative that I can't understand why people think that McCarthy's going to run the ball. We don't even have the running backs to run the ball like that anyway. So we don't go out and trade for Cooks and then we're just going to start running the ball. That doesn't make sense to me. So hopefully now we can be a little bit more explosive at certain portions of the game. And then when we need to run the ball, we run the ball effectively. That's what I'm hoping that Mike McCarthy brings to us. That's what I'm hoping. Situational football needs to be a little bit better.
Yeah. So, K Book, you thinking it's still gonna be a lot of passing, try to get like a lead, two score, three score lead, then start running the ball.
I don't know if it's going to be a lot of passing, but we got to look at Mike McCarthy's history, though, too. We got to look at how we like to call plays in the history. But we have a great defense. So he may not take a lot of chances because of our defense. Who knows? We won't know until we start playing against quality teams. We can just speculate, but we don't know. I really don't know. I'm hoping that, if we get 2nd and 2 on an opponent's 16-yard line with like 50 seconds left, we try to run the ball or be creative. You know what I'm saying? So let's see what happens. Because I'm still a little concerned about our running game. Because Pollard is not an every down back, if you ask me. He's not. He wasn't like that in college, and so now you want him to be an every down back in the pros as well. I don't think he's built to be an every down back.
No, no, not a bell cat like Zeke was. Like we need to. That's why I was hoping we could have got some type of power back. You know what I'm saying? At the draft, somebody just to run in between the tackles because I don't know if Pollard can go 20 games. You know what I'm saying? Uh, toting the ball like Zeke did. I don't know if
I
he'll
think
last.
the fullback that we have right now, Limke, they're going to actually try
Mm-hmm.
to run him on those short yardage downs right now until a better option comes to play, from what I read. So let's see what happens because I don't think Mike McCarthy really wants to run the ball that much. I just think that he wants us to be better at situational football and certain passing and running downs. Because Kellen Moore, all he wanted to do was pass, pass, pass. He was like a gunslinger. He was like Don Coryell. even though you have
Mhm.
actually running backs, and then we don't have to worry about the option routes anymore. I know Foxy loved that. No more option routes. That was a detriment to our team too. The option routes. Everybody talks about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would love to see more screenplays. If you go back to Mike McCarthy's offense in Green Bay, his running backs are pretty much utilizing the short passing game. Get them in open space, have them, and it's their job to make the first defender miss. If they got 4 or 5 yards, 3 to 5 yards out of, and that takes the place of a run play. So I think what a lot of people have to understand is that the West Coast offense is predicated on getting rid of the ball quick. If if
Yeah.
Hmm.
if it's something not down deep, you always have a check down. You have a couple of check downs. You got a quick slant,
Yeah.
you got a dump off to the running back, you got a something to the tight end. But it's predicated on 1, 2, boom, get rid of the ball. It's not making you read one side of the field and have to go to the other side. It's everything is right here, and that's what makes the West Coast offense so good. Now we call it the Texas Coast offense or whatever you want.
Mhm.
Yo, who came up with that name too? Who came up with that name? The Texas Coast. Oh my God.
We'll
Lord
have to
have
have
mercy,
Nikki. We'll have to
Jesus.
have Nikki use her investigative skills in Dallas to find out who came up with that name.
This
Shit.
gonna be good. It's
I
gonna
I
be a good
guess I
situation.
guess I guess the offense came up with it when Mike McCarthy decided that he was gonna call plays. And from what Dak was saying was that when they, discussed it, of course he couldn't keep it as the same. So they was like, well, since we in Texas, let's call it the Texas West Coast. Because he using some of the same stuff that he used on that West Coast offense. But you in Texas now, so let's call it the Texas West Coast to give it a different vibe and a different name, a different feel. Because you don't want to look like you still copying over there off of Green Bay, what you did in Green Bay rather. You know. So, for me, I'm gonna say this, and I think for me, this is just my opinion. The most pressure on this team this year is on Mike McCarthy and Dak. Simple as that.
Facts.
It's cut. It's a cut and dry. The pressure is on Mike McCarthy and Dak because we don't have no one else. It's no one else you could blame at this point. Period. And that's just keeping it real. You know, if you want to go down the line and you want to find a lane, you can say the OC 2-0. Yeah, that's gonna be next. That's gonna what you gonna say? The OC is 2-0 or whatever. But in our actuality,
Chico.
we're not gonna be able to blame anyone now at this point, especially on the offensive side of the ball. Now, if defense lose a game because they gave up something, or gave up a touchdown right at the end of a game, cool. But on the offense side of the ball, is Mike McCarthy and that is gonna have the most pressure on this team this season because basically in everybody mind, most fans, they didn't got rid of everybody that they felt was the problem that they felt like was an issue. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like Jerry did this for a reason, so he can narrow down where the issue coming from.
So let me ask you a question, just a question real quick, and then we'll probably uh, cut it off after this. If we don't make it to the championship game this year, do we get a new head coach? Do we get? Do we? I don't see no way we're gonna get rid of the quarterback, so I don't even want to bring that in there.
Right.
But do you bring in a head coach? Do you bring in another offensive coordinator? Do you take the play calling away from Mike McCarthy? What do you guys think?
Quinn is already here. If
Right.
Mike McCarthy does not get into
Yeah,
the NFC
yeah,
Championship game,
yeah. Don
Quinn is going
Quinn.
to take his
Yeah,
place. He's right there.
Right.
yeah,
He's
bro.
here.
Quinn, Quinn is here. Quinn is right there.
Jerry didn't persuade Quinn to stay here for no particular reason. He didn't. Quinn had opportunities at plenty places that he could have went and been a head coach right now. Could be starting his a new team as a head coach right now. For him to backtrack and cancel interviews and not take those interviews clearly states that Jerry has already said, and Jerry made the statement already more than once. I have my next coach already in the building, which should make Mike McCarthy feel some sort of way. You know what I'm saying? I have my next coach already here in the building. Now, Jerry, Jerry was on that Johnny Walker Red that night when he said that. But, but,
I was
Hey,
very,
they say that there's always a little truth
and
in
and
jokes, right?
and some jokes. There's always some truth and some jokes.
And
So,
when
He
you make
already
a
said
joke,
that though.
our problem is coaching. Our problem is coaching. And pat him on the back.
Yeah, he already smacked him on the back already. National
right.
television, everybody saw it. So
Everybody
Mike
saw it.
McCarthy, boy, you better watch out.
So
You
that's
better
what I'm
watch
saying.
out.
So
He's been put on notice. He's been put on
you
notice.
Yeah.
could you could
So we
downplay it
can't.
all you want. That bought
Yeah.
you. You could downplay it all you want. But this man sat on TV and said this in front of everybody. I got my next coach already here. You should feel some type of way. So we'll see how it go. And I mean, being that it's our team and being that we want to win, I hope he get it done. I want him to get it done. I want him to succeed. Even though I never felt like he was the right hire, but I want to see him succeed. I want to see it happen. So get it done. And that's just my opinion on it. Now, I know Sean said this was gonna be our last topic, so I'm gonna run through this real quick. Let's touch on the Aaron Rodgers and Sean Payton statement. And when Aaron Rodgers came back and said what he said to Sean Payton, let's how y'all feel about that? What Sean Payton said, even though he come back now and say I still had my Fox commentator hat on when I spoke. When he said the things that he said about Nathaniel Hackett. I feel like when you said what you said, and you meant what you said because you said it the first time.
Exactly. Exactly. So I wanted all the smoke.
He gonna get
Shit,
all the
the boy.
smoke too. He gonna get the smoke. That's what he want. That's what he want. He want the smoke because Aaron
Yeah,
Rodgers gonna give him that
yeah,
smoke. That's what he want.
yeah.
That's what he want.
I think,
That's
I
what he
think,
want.
yeah, I think Aaron Rodgers is that one statement got Aaron Rodgers feeling some type of way because the way he came back and spoke to it and spoke on it, he needs to keep our coach's name out of his mouth. They play week what? Week 4, week 5. So
He tired. He tired. They definitely got that game circled.
that's gonna be a game to watch and see who comes
Yeah,
out ahead.
yeah. They're gonna run the check up. And Rodgers gonna run the check up on.
yeah, and I get why Aaron Rodgers defended his coach. I get that 100%. But shit, Hackett sucked in Denver though.
He did.
Yeah, he
He was
did.
horrible. He was
He
horrible.
did.
I mean,
But he
He was
didn't have to
horrible.
say it though. But Peyton could have been, you know what I'm saying? He could have been basically, hey, let me do the corporate thing. Let me not talk no nonsense about another team that we have to play on the schedule. He gave all the smoke. He didn't care.
Yeah, he wanted
He
all
didn't
the
care.
smoke.
He
He
gave
wasn't
all
diplomatic.
the
He
smoke.
wasn't diplomatic whatsoever. He should
He gave
have been more
all the
diplomatic,
smoke.
but he wasn't.
yeah, but Sean Payton is one of them old school coaches. He's a he came from the
Yeah,
Bill
Bill
Parcells
Parcells.
tree.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
He
yeah,
gonna say
yeah,
what he
yeah.
gonna say.
Parcells.
you can't expect nothing less. So I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I'm sorry. It is what it is. I mean, there's a time to be corporate. There's a time to shake hands and yah rah rah. But then sometimes somebody got to tell the truth. Bill Belichick been saying the truth for years. He been saying it for years, and ain't nobody said nothing about it because he was winning Super Bowls.
Exactly.
Sean Payton says it now. It's disrespectful. Nah, Denver sucked.
I, I'm not mad about what Sean Payton said because he said what everybody else wanted to say. He just was the one that said. I'm not mad about what he said. I just say that your team, you better have your team ready and have
Oh
your
yeah.
team ready to back it
Yeah,
up.
you gotta
That's
have your
that's
team
that's
ready.
all I'm
'Cause,
saying. Have your
yeah,
team
hey, don't
ready
go,
and have your
don't
team
go
ready
into
to back
this.
it up. And Russell
Yeah,
Wilson to me is under pressure now because they pay him all that money. So now you have okay, let's say Nathaniel Hackett was the problem. And we know he was. We seen him. He was. But now it's finna fall on Russell. Like they paid you, they gave you all this money. Now it's finna fall on Russell to know if he really the no, really the quarterback that he once was. You know.
Yeah.
So now
Russell
we
just gonna
about to
get up
see
there and
it.
say, let's ride.
That's all he gonna say.
Let's ride. Let me get home to Sierra.
But
That's all.
they gonna ride his
Oh,
ass out to Denver this year. They gonna ride him out of Denver this
hey,
year. Let him not play. Let him not perform to that contract. And then we have one more thing
Yeah.
about Jalen Carter, saying that he can't wait to bury the Cowboys. Boy, you ain't played
I don't
one
see nothing
down
wrong with
on the
that.
field yet. I ain't saying to see that Kenyatta go. He,
There I go,
I
because
ain't
I like the smoke. I like all that smoke. I'm a Northeast dude. So if
I
the
ain't
Eagle
never
fan or
said
Eagle
nothing
player
was
gonna talk
wrong.
that, let's get the smoke. It's the Eagles. Let's get the smoke. Let's get the smoke. I don't care nothing about Jalen Carter. And
Yeah,
I'm an
My
Alabama
point
fan too. Hey,
is
yeah,
Georgia,
I think what Nick is
let's
trying to
get the
say is
smoke.
that every time one of those Eagle coaches, players, or somebody like that open up their mouth about the Cowboys, they end up getting their ass whooped.
but you ain't played
Thank
one
you.
down.
You play
You
one
ain't
down.
played one down. And let's get them in the because I guess for me, I don't like when we jump ahead of our schedule. Play the
Yeah,
team in front of you. I don't like that. I don't like going all the way down to the Giants and the Eagles and all of them. I don't like that. Play the team in front of you because that's where you lose it because you
Mhm.
so focused on the team down the schedule and the teams who you think you gonna just walk in and mollywop, they mollywop you because you looking ahead. Play who in front of you. Sit back and wait your turn. We'll be ready for you, Jalen. When we play them, October, the first game. Yeah,
only game I'm concerned about right now is
it's the
August.
Giants.
No, August the 12th, the preseason game against
Mhm.
I ain't
Jacksonville.
even worried
We
about
can
that.
get better.
Yo,
Yeah,
wait a
that's
minute.
what I'm
Y'all not
on. Yeah,
excited?
I'm on. Yeah, that's what I'm on. I'm focused on the Jacksonville Jaguar. The big mouth rookie. Better hope he cracks Scott Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? So while you talking about you can't wait to kill the Cowboy, you might not even be starting, dude.
Don't forget the Eagles. The Eagles out of everybody, they hate the Cowboys, right? The Eagle fans, they hate the Cowboys. So I expect him to say that. He's trying to be the new leader
Mhm.
of the Eagles. I understand that. And I'm
But
good. I don't
somebody
care.
feeding him that.
Let's get
They
the
feeding
smoke.
him that.
Let's get the Yeah, but that's the Eagles Cowboy rivalry. So it is what it
But
is,
it
though.
ain't
It
no.
is what it
But
is.
like one of the Eagles commentators said, and he said this out of his own mouth. I listened to all of them, and he said, I'm not understanding." He said I feel like he was fed this. He said, but I'm not understanding why they would want to feed him anything pertaining to the Cowboys when Cowboys is not even the Eagles' true rivalry. Now that came from an Eagle commentary. That came from him. He said so as the newcomer onto the team, you don't go out here and say you're gonna bury a certain team when you don't even know the history of the teams. You barely know the playbook. I'm just saying.
So
But it's cool. I get it. Use it as
I don't know.
bulletin point. You
I
know,
could really, yeah,
you know.
I could really care less about the Alabama East because that's who the Eagles are right now. They
No,
the
that's
Alabama
Georgia
East.
East. Get it right.
That's
That's
Georgia
Georgia
East.
East.
Georgia
The
East.
Georgia
Philly
Don't
doesn't
there.
use
do
don't
it
use
all.
Alabama. That's the Georgia East. That's
The
Georgia
Yeah,
East,
SEC
not
Philly
East.
doesn't
Alabama
do it
How
all.
East.
about that? The SEC East because that's all that they pick. They
God
pick.
dang,
They
go
can pick
on, Foxy.
Alabama and Georgia. You got Alabama on offense. You got Georgia on defense. So
Yeah.
Oh
it just
Lord.
is what it
Man,
Either
listen, I
way,
don't care about the smoke. I want all the smoke. I don't care about that. Jeff talked the same mess too. Jeff talked the same mess. Thing is Cowboys. Cowboys, forget about the Redskins, Giants. Everything in Philadelphia is about the Cowboys. I'm telling you, right? Everything is about the Cowboys. So I expect one of the rookies to pop off. I expect one of the rookies to say that they don't care about the schedule. It's just the Cowboys. They want the Cowboys because we the biggest rival. No matter what the commentary anybody says, when it's the Cowboys playing the Eagles, we know everybody comes out to see those games. Forget about the Giants, forget about the Redskins, the Cowboys, Eagles. And Jeff will tell you that. Jeff, anybody else, Wayne, Charles, anybody will tell you it's the Cowboys and the Eagles. They don't care about the schedule. As long as the Cowboys and the Eagles get ready to play, that's what they focus on.
But that
Because
just
they're
kind of
arrogant
started
now.
over past years because Eagles was never a team, was never even nothing for nobody to worry about, to even speak on. So that just really came about over past
They
years.
just
It was
really want to
all
be honest. Yeah, they
I
just
don't
had,
really
I
want
don't
to
they
know.
really
talk
just
real honest
had
about it. It
I don't know
it
because
was
it may be an
Redskins and
East Coast
Cowboys.
thing. Yeah, to you guys, maybe, but for the East Coast, the Eagles, they hate the Cowboys. I'm telling the Eagles, yo, if you
Well,
go
I
to
would too. We beat
Philadelphia
them
and
so
you say
many
anything about
times.
the Cowboys, they hate the Cowboys more than any other team in professional football. I'm telling you, it's the Cowboys. If any
Well, I mean
Eagle
that's
fans
everybody.
are on this, they'll tell you. Yeah, but it's just the Cowboys. They hate the Cowboys more. You remember that? You
Well,
remember that old clip in the 70s? Cowboys, we hate you. They hate us like they hated Santa Claus. When Michael Irvin was laying there motionless on that turf, they
and they
cheered him.
cheered.
So that tells you the
yeah,
hatred right
yeah.
there, the history
I was
of
done. I
how
was
they
done
really
with that
hate
nigga.
us.
Yeah, they
Yeah, I
cheered.
was done with that.
Buddy Ryan, and Jimmy Johnson going at it. I'm telling you, they hate the Cowboys when they hate anybody. I am telling you. That's just how the Eagles. So, hey, Jalen wants to smoke. You want to smoke, Mr. Carter? We're going to give you that smoke. And then don't forget, Michael Parsons is from PA as well. So that's another thing, too. So I'm just saying, you don't want the smoke, let's get the smoke. That's it. I don't
Like I
mind
said,
it. I don't mind.
I don't mind the smoke, but I don't want to smoke until I got to focus on the smoke. Right now,
Right.
Jacksonville, and then my next smoke is the Giants. Those. If I smoke, then those are two smokers. That's two smoking that I'm smoke.
So wait till Jeff get back on the show. You see what I'm talking about. Jeff, when Jeff come back, he good now. Jeff said
We
he's
ain't
better. He's gonna
seen
come back.
Jeff since the Super Bowl.
Right now, he's out serving his country, so he got re-enlisted. So
Oh, okay.
I'll give him a little pass. But
Okay, I give him a
time
pass.
him to come on here, we'll bring him on here, and I'll bring my New York Giants fan on here.
Damn, that Super Bowl loss made him go back to the surface.
Oh damn! See that? Now see. Yo, I didn't say it. I didn't say it. Jeff gonna be. Oh, he gonna want the smoke,
Hey, you been on one tonight.
I don't know what's in that, but there might be something else than Ciroc in there. Lord have mercy, Jesus.
Just don't bring back that. Just don't bring back that 49ers guy.
Oh nah. No, that oof. He talks so much.
We had
man.
we had a 2-hour show. He talked an hour and 45 minutes about 2 hours.
Yeah, he just left his team. I think he was drinking that night too. I think he had something to drink that night. He was on something. He was drinking. Damn sure was drinking.
Well,
Oh man.
great show.
I can't wait to play the Eagles, man. God.
All right, so we got preseason games coming up next week. I'm pretty sure that we'll be able to see the
Seattle.
What you call it, when they bring the other teams in for practices. I'm pretty sure that
I was talking about the joint practice.
Oh, the blue and white scrimmage.
the dual practices.
Oh, the dual practice. Yeah.
Yeah, the joint practice.
Who are they gonna practice against this year?
I think they usually do the team that they play the first preseason game against.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So probably the
I
Jaguars.
thought Leo said they wasn't doing it this year. I thought Leo had mentioned that they wasn't going to do that this year. I got to double check.
Huh.
And I know they do the blue and white scrimmage, but y'all normally can't see that. We can only see that down this way.
Yeah.
You normally do that, but yeah. So yeah, like football is in the air. It's back Thursday night.
All right, Nikki. Well, you want to take us out? It's old man time. I'm past my curfew.
Oh yeah, it's 10.
God.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
it's 10,
man.
14.
You
First of all,
said
Mr. Capo,
old
when
man time.
when do your show start back?
Who mine?
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably gonna probably second or third preseason game. I kind of want to get a feel for the team, see what they looking like. You know what I'm saying? But it's probably gonna be the second or third preseason, probably the third one. That way I can go on do my going into the get ready for regular season and everything.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll
But
be ready. Let us know.
it was, I'm trying to. I hadn't really decided yet. Maybe the second one, but maybe the third one too. So. I kind of want to do the third one so I can go into the regular season. But if we, I don't know if they looking nice in their Jacksonville game, I don't think I'm gonna be able to stay away. You know what I'm saying? If I like what I see in the Jacksonville game, it probably be the second.
So all of our preseason games are on Saturdays. So
Really?
yeah,
Yeah. We don't have none on a Friday.
yeah, all of them are Saturdays. You got a 5
And
p.m. or 4 p.m. All these are Eastern Standard Time, by the way. 5 p.m. on Saturday, 10 p.m. against the Seahawks.
look who popped up, y'all.
Who's that?
Jeff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, Jeff.
I told you, Jeff. I told you. I chatted
We
with
done
Jeff
spoke
last
him
week.
up.
Jeff know what up. Jeff, tell him about how the Eagle fans really hate the Cowboys more than anybody else. Tell him, Jeff.
We know that.
Give us the smoke. We want the smoke. Jalen Carter talking smoke. What's good?
But well, I guess we're
Yeah,
gonna.
we'll get you on the show in between. I told him that you're out serving your country again, so whenever you get time, hit me up.
Every time I shoot you.
Definitely get on the show. We can see
Lord, you better, y'all better leave that man alone.
I like Jeff though. Jeff cool. He like one of the only Philly fans that you could get along with because he's realistic and he speaks the truth about his team. So I don't think he didn't speak the truth though. They were gonna win the Super Bowl, but uh, for the first half they looked like they was, but
that's the rock coming out again.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. But
Lord.
overall Jeff is cool. He's solid. I like Jeff. But anyway, since it's old man time, I just want to say thanks to everyone that wished me a happy birthday today. He said we thought we were gonna get the ship. Oh well. Birthday party at Magic City. That's what Kelly say. Birthday party at Magic City. But thanks to everyone that took time out their day, their busy schedule to stop by, tell me happy birthday. Thanks to all that joined the show tonight. It's getting to the point to where we gonna have good shows. Have a lot more to talk about now. We're getting to that part of the season for us, so I'm glad. Because it had been kind of boring around here. Thank you, Jeff. So that's it for me. Just happy to be here. Happy to see another year. I'm in my last round of my 40s. So hey, I guess I'm a party till I turn 50 next year. I'm gonna make these 40s worth it.
Well, you gotta let me know what that 50th birthday party is. So.
Yeah, of course it'll be here in Dallas.
All right.
So,
Well,
that's
always it's a pleasure. Well, Mr. Cowboy in the left, I was about to give him a shout out. But it's always a pleasure having to talk football with you two here. As everybody can see, we don't always agree on everything, but we still family, and that's what family does. So, he had to come out. He had to come out and get his shout out back.
I'm sorry, my phone died.
Like I said, shout out to Mr. Cowboy Nation here for joining us. You bring an element to the show that just brings our vibe out even more. So we appreciate you coming on. And when
you know I call y'all my play cousin, man.
Yeah. So we'll definitely have to come on your show. We might have to do a joint show,
Yeah, I'm for that. So when I'm gonna take a trip to Dallas this year. I'm not sure which game yet. I hadn't made a decision on which game yet, but I'll definitely be in Dallas this year. So
Oh, let me
so
know.
Home opener for me. I think that's going to be mine because I want to see the Jets. So I think
yeah.
I'm definitely gonna do the home opener. But my games that I plan on really going to is the home opener, definitely Carolina, and I'm pushing for Miami. Um, that's a holiday weekend. I think
Yeah.
I deserve to go to Miami to watch the Cowboys play.
Yeah, I think that's one I'm gonna try to get to Miami. But I don't know. I think I may do Carolina. Yeah,
I think
when I go
everybody
to
is doing
Dallas,
Carolina.
yeah, when I go
That's
to
supposed to
Dallas, I
be the
want to see
Cowboys
them
takeover.
I want to see them stomp somebody.
Kelly,
So
this year,
Carolina
unfortunately,
make me
no.
go
I
with
got
them.
some stuff I'm working on, Kelly. Fortunately, I got some stuff I'm working on. So unfortunately, not even when they come here to New York, to New York and Jersey, because I got some stuff I'm trying to take care of. Soon tell you about it.
Okay.
And I
Sound like
know
a
next
plan.
year we're going to Pittsburgh. So
Yeah.
then Atlanta comes. Dallas comes to Atlanta next year.
Oh,
And we go
Oh,
to Pittsburgh next year. So
yeah,
it's
we do
two,
go to Pittsburgh next year.
two games that I definitely plan on.
Hopefully we don't go when it's freezing cold
Yeah.
in Pittsburgh. But my road games are 49ers, Carolina, and Miami. I ain't studying them kids for Christmas.
But you know what though? I did think about driving to Buffalo because I have family in Buffalo. So I was thinking about going up to Buffalo though, because my cousin had asked me. He said, "Yo, you want to come up?" I said, "I might."
It's gonna
So
be
I
so
might drive up to
cold then.
Buffalo.
Mm-mm.
But it's cold anyway in the Northeast. It's just
Yeah, for
cold. It's
y'all,
just
yeah,
cold.
y'all can deal with
It's
that.
cold.
Buffalo was on my list until the schedule came out. When I saw the schedule, I was like, nah, because I would love to see Trayvon and Stephon and play against each other live.
mm-hmm.
So that would be awesome.
Yeah,
But it's
that
gonna be
would
too.
be nice.
That's gonna be too cold,
Yeah.
and then I don't want to get over there and get stuck.
All right then. Well, we will definitely see everyone next week. I enjoyed it. Um,
Yes, indeed.
So Nikki and the Blue Cup Boys. We need to.
that's
Wow.
next.
Yeah, we need to make
Listen,
that
now,
happen,
now
man.
it's gonna have to be Clear Boy or something because I got Clear Bottle over here. I don't know.
I'll do better next week, y'all.
You
I,
did
I
great.
I'll do better next week.
Nah, you good. You good. Like you fit right in on my shoulders. I had that big old cup on mine. Ain't no telling what be in my cup.
God damn.
Oh Lord. On that note, there.
Oh my God, he's on my hey go bird.
Here we go. All right, it's time to go to bed.
It's time to go to bed. Good night.
Good night,
Wow.
everyone.
They're gonna do Jeff like that. Wow. They're gonna do Jeff like that.
But we thank
I'm
you,
glad
Jeff.
Jeff made a just appearance though.
Yeah.
We thank you, Jeff, for serving the country. We appreciate you.
Yeah, salute, Jeff, for real.
Yeah, we salute you, except for those 2 weekends during the season. Them 2 Sundays that we play on the season. And other than that, I salute you too, bro. All right, we'll see you next week.
All right, well,
Good night,
it's been
everybody.
real. It's been real.
All right, y'all.
All right,
Pleasure.
good night.
Good night.